Good evening, everyone. Welcome to America's Third Party. I'm David Sponheim, and today is Sustainable Saturday. Welcome. We've got a lot of questions going on about how effective our government has been in fooling us into believing that we've gone to the moon. And the issue just came up in our show. Why would they lie to us that we went to the moon? Well, Richard Nixon, you remember Richard Nixon, my fellow Americans, I am not a crook. That guy did not like anybody outstaging him. He had a tremendous ego. And the last thing he wanted anyone to remember him by was something like Watergate. But ironically, that's what we remembered him by. He wanted everyone to think that we went to the moon. And the experts at the time said, okay, let's pretend. And they were under strict rules and laws and non-disclosure agreements to never tell people that we never actually went to the moon. So, according to NASA, we went to the moon. Everyone wants to believe it. But when you go online looking for pictures of the Earth from a distance, you will not find one that has not been artistically created. That's the irony here. So why would our government lie to us about something important like going to the moon? Because we haven't been back in 50 years. Because the government wants us to believe that they're omnipresent, they're the Wizard of Oz, and that nothing they do can be wrong. And that's the big barrier that we're facing right now, because many of us are realizing that our government is willing to lie to us. We've seen events after events that just don't have any proof of people dying, and they have some poor kid who can barely speak reading off a script claiming he did it. And we're supposed to believe that that really happened and that somehow we need to get rid of weapons because they're bad and they cause dangerous things. So this effort to disarm the American people coming out of our government is strictly against the best interests of this nation. This idea of gun control being pushed by the Democrats and now by Donald Trump, getting rid of bump stocks and limiting PTSD people from getting access to weapons. It's coming out of both sides now. So the two parties are corrupted and are pushing this gun control initiative. And that's why Donald Trump spent 1 hour and 24 minutes talking to the poor children of Parkland. This is the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas school shooting. Okay, I will unban him. But I will not unhush him. There's nobody by that name. Yeah, there's nobody by that name, sorry. Misanthropy, welcome. Jussie isn't a distraction. You're right. The Jussie Smollett case shows us the corruption that they're willing to go to, where Kim Foxx recused herself from the whole event and then managed to get the guy who's handling the prosecution. Yeah, the whole thing was completely thrown out of kilter because the guy who's handling the competition or the prosecution gave it up because Kim Foxx told him to. And Kim Foxx apparently got a call from somebody who knows Michelle Obama. But that whole Jussie Smollett thing, including the event and the bleach, and that's all been designed to take our mind off of what's really happening in front of us. And what's been happening in front of us is even more disturbing. Our country is being controlled by Russia completely. And I haven't in any way swayed away from this argument that I've been making from the very beginning. Remember, I was the one that talked about total collusion. I'm the one who's still talking about total collusion. William Barr was bought off. He openly wrote a letter asking Rod Rosenstein not to investigate Michael Flynn, who was working for Russia. Now, if Rod Rosenstein had answered William Barr and taken his advice, we would still have a man, Michael Flynn, working for Russia in our most important and top secret position, the National Security Advisor position. That's like major, and yet the Democrats aren't moving to impeach William Barr and everything he said, because clearly his statement of obstruction is not happening is wrong. Part of that 19-page letter was to design a way to not investigate obstruction. So he's clearly biased. I mean, beyond belief biased, this guy, William Barr. So we are now dealing with total collusion And Russia probably makes phone calls to Trump privately on his cell phone just to tell him, all the things that they want him to do, because we don't have a lot of access to Donald Trump's cell phone, that's for sure. Yeah, nobody seems to have any access. But Barr himself has this look of guilt in my mind. There's something about him. Now, he's meeting with a Hasidic, or excuse me, a rabbi or something. Some of Mueller's team say report was more damaging than Barr revealed. The problem is Barr is working for this Zionist state here in the United States. This rabbi I was talking was probably telling him what he should be doing. Barr is collaborating with Russian Zionists and U.S. Zionists to veritably rig our entire government. So we're literally dealing with the most corrupt organizations around the world buying the underbelly of Donald Trump and pulling on his pubic hair to make decisions. They've got the sex tapes. They've got all the financials and the money laundering charges they can use against Trump at any time. So why not just shove the whole thing, all 300 plus pages? And Judge Napolitano actually says there's 700 pages. Believe it or not, he said it twice on Fox. They want to throw all that under the rug and say, no, there's no collusion, everything's fine. And we installed William Barr in place and he's doing a good job. They want that to be the end of the story. I have more than enough proof all over the place. In fact, I'm building a case that's going to be a blockbuster hit. And I'm working on a documentary right now that's going to actually blow the lid on this case. I've got more than enough evidence to convict Donald Trump. More than enough evidence to actually convict him. Now, the problem is the people that are working in these fields are hiding information and streams of information. Mueller didn't even investigate Seth Rich. Yet Seth Rich is the most likely person to get all those WikiLeaks. Donald Trump is now saying WikiLeaks is a bad organization, completely flipping from where he was 2 years ago, bragging about WikiLeaks and asking Russia, if you're listening, I want you to get all the emails you can. That's called espionage. Donald Trump was openly committing espionage at that time and embracing WikiLeaks. And now, according to Pence and Trump, they don't endorse WikiLeaks. In fact, they hate him. They're going to get rid of him. WikiLeaks was only being used for their benefit, not for the benefit of us, who we now know through WikiLeaks that John Podesta likes to sell pizzas that aren't going to make it for $9,000 a piece. Whatever that means. All this evidence that's leading us to Pizzagate. Oh, we better not talk about Pizzagate because that's illegal. In a country that's free and democratic, you can't talk about the word Pizzagate. You get banned on Reddit or banned on Twitter. I would consider Judge Napolitano as a BP. I would. I like that guy. He's solid, brilliant. I like him. He doesn't hold back, but I'd have to engage with him personally to know if he's somebody I could talk to or get along with. I don't know if I could get along with him. Yeah, the WikiLeaks file is still very large, and there were over 80,000. Here's just a list of the WikiLeaks file. You got an index? Look at this. Wow. That's a nice big file, man. Yeah. The reality is there were a lot of emails that were not even looked at. The Podesta drop came up short. There were apparently 50,000 emails from Podesta, and it came up short because there were 57,000 in the original WikiLeaks reveal. So where's 7,000 emails from John Podesta? They're missing. They rounded them down to 50,000. I don't have any tax returns. I don't make enough to do that. I retired at the age of 50 in 2010. Yeah, I don't have enough income to even declare. If I did declare, I'd probably get an earned income tax credit or something. Yeah, I don't want to draw from the state. I just don't feel that, making no money and living on savings is enough for me. Yeah. But the reality is Hillary Clinton says WikiLeaks Julian Assange must answer after the London arrest. Now they're making this character who can be CGI'd and duplicated, and we know that his fake face being carried out was... I halfway believe that he's dead. that the real Julian Assange is dead. Yeah, why did Obama pardon the thieves that stole those emails? Good question. Yeah, Obama was in on the whole thing too. But Hillary Clinton is just using this as a way of deferring our view of what's happening. It's just, let's change the subject kind of thing.
WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange was arrested on charges in what prosecutors call the largest ever publication of confidential documents on the agency. We have the facts. In 2006, he founded WikiLeaks, an organization that publishes and makes available documents and materials not intended by its creators for public consumption. Document dumps like classified government material, personal email correspondence, and money trail and banking information, all in the name of transparency. Since its establishment, the group claims to have published more than 10 million documents, often embarrassing governments.
That information never would have existed in the world had we not released it.
It didn't garner widespread coverage until 2010, when the organization published a series of leaks from former Army intelligence analyst Chelsea Manning.
Okay, stop there. Now, Chelsea Manning will not testify. Now, there's probes into WikiLeaks. The Democrats are looking into this right now. And Chelsea Manning, formerly Bradley Manning, transgender, is not going to testify. Now, that's really weird, considering Chelsea Manning has total immunity. That Chelsea Manning has to reveal whatever she knows at this point. But she doesn't want to do that. Chelsea doesn't want to testify. Why? I'm trying to figure this out. Because Chelsea Manning knows that it could kill her. She'd die. She would be taken out. She's living under fear. It's obvious. That's why Justice for Katie, the 13-year-old girl who claimed Trump raped her, she won't press charges. She said she was afraid for her life. That's why Stormy Daniels was approached by someone who said, "You better drop this Trump thing. Oh, what a pretty little daughter. We wouldn't want anything to happen to her mother now, would we?" Yeah. People are living under fear. That's why. Well, whatever you want to say, the WikiLeaks story still is huge and has a plethora of information we can draw from. But why haven't we? I can tell you why. Because the people that are in charge know that a lot of that stuff got out. They never expected to see emails about pizzas being turned into a story about pedophilia, even though the FBI talked about pizzas being used as code words for child pornography, cheese pizza. Yeah, people used to come in my show from 4chan like 7-8 years ago and say, "Hey Dave, do you like cheese pizza?" And I was like, "Well, no, I don't. I prefer like sausage and pepperoni." And I had no idea what it meant. They were trying to say, "Are you into that?" I'm not into. You got to understand, this whole thing should have been investigated. The FBI is sitting on their hands. Meanwhile, the Russian connection's even more real than we ever imagined, with Barr, Mueller being controlled by these Zionist elitists, Russian oligarchs. Oh, it's bad. And Trump living under their control with all this alleged activity. The sex tape, whether it's real or not, isn't really the big issue. The real big issue is when Mueller was talking, when Mueller sued 12 Russian companies, one of them sued back, Concord Management and Consulting. And they managed to get Mueller to reveal the inventory of items they have on Donald Trump. Guess what? There is a sex selfie in the inventory. So there's a sex selfie of Donald Trump in the inventory that Mueller has, and that's why it's classified. Okay, so that means that the Russians may have a sex selfie on him. And that means that we may be dealing with that kind of threat to a man who doesn't want his penis shown to the world. I wouldn't want my penis shown to the world. Of course, nothing to worry about there. But the reality is, if you are looking to control somebody, a sex selfie and financial indebtedness is huge. That kind of leverage would control any president, make him do whatever they want. So then you ask, well, why have we been working so diligently to protect Russia? Because they own Donald Trump. No sanctions have been applied, hardly any. There's been a recent claim by one guy who was involved in that Thailand woman, Nastia, that had all this information about Russian meddling in our election? Well, Nastia was seized in Moscow by a Russian oligarch who said, I will give you freedom if you give me all of your material you say is damning about what I have done with Russian involvement in the presidential election. Apparently, she gave him everything in order to get her freedom. And she's worried about, her freedom and living. A lot of these people are worried about their life. They're under threat of death. Yeah. Deripaska is his name. And Deripaska is now suing Donald Trump, claiming that he unlawfully applied sanctions. Quite the opposite. Trump didn't apply any sanctions to Deripaska, and nor to any other oligarchs. So for the past 2 years, Russia has been skating without any sanctions because of Donald Trump, which is exactly what Russia would make him do if they had control of his sex tape and monetary control of his finances, which they probably do. Donald Trump didn't make a lot of money for the past 10 years. We know that. What we don't know is what his tax returns are, because he won't show them. That alone is specifically disturbing, considering he said, oh, I'd gladly show you my tax returns, no problem. And now there's a huge problem, because those tax returns reveal money payments from the Russian oligarchs for homes in Florida and other areas where they're apparently living. Or maybe they just sent their families over to, move into Florida. But they bought these houses for probably double their value, which is money laundering. And that's the case that Manafort was never tried on. That Mueller dropped the second charges and didn't even try Manafort on that case, which would have also revealed the money laundering and the payoffs to Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump claimed in 2007 that he had a $1 billion loss. Amortized over the past 10 years in tax returns, that $1 billion loss carried forward, depreciated, is going to make him pay no taxes. So maybe he's trying to make sure that no one knows he didn't pay any taxes for the past 10 years. A lot of companies are avoiding taxes with all our screwed up tax laws, which I've been trying to help people realize we need a flat tax to resolve this with no tax credits whatsoever. Flat tax on anything over $50,000. I'm not slandering the president at all. In fact, what I'm doing is declaring the truth about this man who's been working for the Russians, and there is a sex selfie in the record, in the inventory, and no one can deny that. And I'm not slandering a person who's at the very helm of this nation, now mismanaging the border, something fierce, and about ready to release, 300,000 people into sanctuary cities? And on top of that, I've got this absolutely wild Lightfoot woman in Chicago this lesbian Lightfoot woman who just won the mayorship and says she wants to bring them all into Chicago. And here's a woman who hasn't been working in her job hardly at all. Yet she says magically she's going to absorb 300,000 illegal aliens in Chicago. There's a lot of problems with her too. Who is she? She's not a Native American. You can tell from the way she looks. She's clearly an African-American woman. Lightfoot is a Native American name. How did she have the name Lightfoot? Did she marry a lesbian Native American and acquire her name? It looks like a made-up name, so that makes me question, well, who is she? What's she covering? What's she hiding? I don't trust her. And for her to make that brash statement that she would absorb all these illegal aliens in a sanctuary city is bizarre. This woman doesn't look like she has the capability to do that. She clearly doesn't have any experience in the job, so how can she even assess this situation? I'm looking at pure incompetence here. That troubles me. In one of our worst cities where 14 shootings occur every day, and every week 2 or 3 or 4 people die. That's kind of weird that she'd want more illegal aliens in that city, which can't even handle their own policing problems. And she just came from being the president of the police union. I mean, this is a disaster in the making. Well, this woman doesn't have what it takes to make a credible decision. No woman in their right mind would say bring in 300,000 illegals, no problem, when she can't even handle her own problems with drugs and crime and violence. This woman is steeped in corruption. She's part of the police union. She's obviously part of that corruption. Obviously. Okay, what's going on LiveLog? Shout out to Ed Gein, one of your few friends on the site. Hey, Ghost, what's going on? Mad Dog. All about Motley Crue. Okay, you got to. My beautiful cat has a cold. What do I need to know at LiveLog, DT Laura? Gordon Liddy says the dossier was financed by crooked Democrats. Not at all. In fact, the dossier was procured from a man who died and was killed for procuring it and giving it over to Vladimir Putin. Excuse me, to Christopher Steele. His man is Oleg Erevinkin, and he was the man at the center of this controversy. Oleg Erevinkin had the dossier and handed it over to Christopher Steele. He was then killed in Moscow on Boxing Day. A heart attack, easily faked killing of a man. Very young man, too. He was a former FSB general who handed the dossier over. I don't know what kind of money transferred hands. I'm not privy to that. But just because the Democrats asked for it doesn't make them culpable. Believe me, Donald Trump was willingly asking Russia to tap into Hillary Clinton's emails. That's an act of espionage. Russia, if you're listening, I want you to get all the emails of Hillary Clinton. I mean, that's espionage. So if you think for a second I'm going to sit there and allow you Republicans, you're like a bunch of hens in a goose house, not knowing what to do. Blah, blah, blah. No laws were broken getting that dossier. And yet you claim it's completely false. No, that's not true. It's 85% accurate, up to 95% accurate. By Christopher Steele's expectations, he said that we're looking at guaranteed accuracy of at least 85%. Now that's coming from one of the top supervisor MI6 layered top secret guys named Christopher Steele. You can't show me one bad thing about Christopher Steele, can you? None of you Republicans can say one bad thing about Christopher Steele. Isn't that interesting? And he says it's 85 to 95% accurate. Calling anybody deep state at this point is not solving the problems. Donald Trump is deep state. Donald Trump is controlled by Henry Kissinger. That's why one day after he fired James Comey to stop the Russian thing, Henry Kissinger was sitting in his office, camping out. I'm here with Henry Kissinger. We're talking about Syria. Remember that? Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at the news. Some say President's sanctuary city idea could help migrants stay in the U.S. This isn't a President's sanctuary city idea. This is an Obama idea that Donald Trump is now absorbing like it was his. Now, Donald Trump took my 1,000-mile fence idea. He took the idea and called it his own. He said it was a wall. We're going to build a 1,000-mile wall. I did the measurement. I know where the areas of the border that are weak. I know exactly. I did a topographical study, which pulled together 1,000 miles. In 2 years, he hasn't built that. Now he's got the population growth increase that I told you would be arriving right now. We should have had that fence built. But not only has he not built the fence, now he's trying to absorb Barack Obama's sanctuary city idea as his own. Some say President's sanctuary city idea could help migrants stay in the U.S. What kind of BS is this? This is Obama's idea, and Trump is simply endorsing it now. Do you see what you Republicans have created? A guy that likes to lie incessantly, and he'll flip on gun control too, just like he's flipping on the illegal aliens pouring into the border. He took my idea to get noticed, and now he's dropping it like a lead balloon because the New World Order, they don't care about boundaries. They don't care about a fence. The New World Order would sooner have no fences on any country anywhere in the world and have people running in, defecating on your lawn and asking you for food, and if you didn't give it to them, who knows? Kill each other. That's something like that could happen. So they don't care about this country. The New World Order cares only about global world domination and buying people like Donald Trump and sending Kissinger over for a little powwow at a very critical time when he made the biggest blunder of all. And you know, the day after, he also invited 2 Russians to come in to the White House. 2 Russians to come into the White House with TASS News Service sitting there reading everything watching everything. We didn't get one single videotape of that meeting. Mueller, in all his infinite efforts to find information, couldn't get one copy of the TASS video of Donald Trump talking to 2 Russians. We have had no knowledge of what Donald Trump said to Russians over the past 2 years. 6.5 hours of private meetings with Vladimir Putin and all the phone calls that he's had privately. We know nothing. We know zero. And $30 million given to Mueller to find this out. None of it was found out. Not even the 10 years of tax returns. So you'd have to have a massive hole in your brain to think that, oh, we're doing great and there was no collusion. Everything's fine. So I thought Americans were smarter than you stupid idiot Trump-tards who continually stand by your guy like you think he's telling you the truth, when he incessantly lies about everything, including his father's birthplace. Trump still says his dad was born in Germany when everyone knows he was born in New York City. I mean, it doesn't get any more stupid than that. If you still believe in Trump after he lies about everything, you must be absolutely brain dead. And he'll probably say, oh yeah, Trump's great idea of sanctuary cities, that would be great. It's Obama's idea, and Trump was against it, and we shouldn't allow them in because it'll destabilize our country. Wake up, Republicans! What the hell is wrong with you? Your brain is steeped in stupidity so thick you can't even tell when somebody's lying to you right to your face. It makes me sick. Donald Trump's father was born in New York. It's written in his birth certificate. Everything all goes to New York. You're a total idiot, Steve. Jesus. Hey, so you got an Ed Gein friend over here. That's nice. Now let me confer. We don't have a chatter here, so let's unhush you. Yeah, let's see what you got, Egghead. Hope that works. Some guy was kept out of our show. Okay, come on in, Egghead, but be nice. David, you can't be so mad that you don't see porn on your cast without super ops. I don't see any porn on my cast. No. If you saw him, I didn't see him. It's hidden from me.
It might have been on the far side. I don't know.
No, there was no porn over there. There was no porn over there.
I'm saying, like, how you rotate this. Anyway, never mind.
Well, we had our visitors, so. I'm pulling cams down, but I never saw porn on the site. Okay. Like, I'm not talking about paternal ancestry. I'm talking about where he was born. Yeah, Trump keeps saying his dad was born in Germany. It's just not true. That's an outright lie. I have ancestral history in Germany. We talked about that. Okay, I'm going to move this off of Sarah's face so we don't have to. Okay, I don't really pander to Ocasio-Cortez, and I don't think we should talk about any of this really right now. We talked about the largest plane. Wow, a large flightless bird in captivity kills a Florida man in a horrible accident. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? He must have been a handler and the bird was acting out crazy. A captive cassowary, a large flightless bird considered the most dangerous of its species, killed a man Friday near Gainesville. Whoa. They're conducting a death investigation. That's crazy. Okay, let me get this off the screen and you can go back to that. Okay. No, I'm not Polish. My ancestry is German. And my family was from the Rhineland. There's a town there called Sponheim, originally. My father was Norwegian. His ancestors were Norwegian. They moved from Germany in 1100 AD to Norway. Well, yeah, I certainly do, you know, but...
What?
My beautiful cat Fluffy's busy right now. I don't need an op. She's going to handle it. So Dave, 98 wasn't lying. I'll testify to that. Okay, so if you saw that on there, why don't we make My Beautiful Cat Fluffy, since you have, you're sporting I'll give you operator status. Okay? My Beautiful Cat Fluffy. If you want to do something, you're here, as long as you're here, yeah, for a bit.
Do you have any requests for tonight's topic for Twitter?
I haven't really given it much thought, but I would like to discuss something about this Twitter effort that we've put in. We are still at the same number of Twitter followers we had 4 or 5 weeks ago after all of this effort.
Okay, whatever.
No, I'm just trying to reiterate a point that, the Twitter censorship is pretty intense. There's rotten fish in the Danube? Really? I didn't know. I've never been to Germany. I studied German from a guy who lived near Stuttgart. You're having Burger King delivered now? That's great. Okay, hang on just a second. Let me just take a quick look at this.
We haven't been to Europe. I've never been to Europe.
Okay, some guy called out Bill Clinton. I'll take a look at that later. Okay, what would be a good topic for tonight?
Can you log in? Higher education, we already have a topic.
Higher education? Great. Let me get in there. Coming up. Okay, hold on, everybody. Okay, so Sarah's up and running, and we're going to go ahead and talk about higher education. And a lot of people are wondering if they should increase their education and how to do it, and what's the most cost-effective way to get an education so you won't be in debt when you graduate, and also whether you should even pursue it, or maybe you should just keep working at Walmart, something like that. Thank you. All right, Sarah, thank you so much. We are going to hand the reins over to Sarah while I do some other stuff. But I think one of the things I wanted to level, and I want to remove the total collusion from the background here, because I know that my views do not necessarily reflect Sarah's. And because Sarah is a different kind of a person than I am, and we both perceive the world differently, there's a reason why we don't agree on everything. And that's a good thing. We want that diversity, but Sarah and I both agree on our book, Hybrid Capitalism, and on how to fix the country and our platform. So that's the best part about this show, is that, and we both support legalization, even though she's never smoked marijuana and never wanted to. But we simply want what's best for the country, and our perception of the world may be completely different. Donald, how are you? You're insisting there's no collusion? I know. We're going to conveniently leave you out of the show. Okay, go ahead. How much chili? We don't eat much chili. Sarah and I are not big chili eaters.
I like chili, but I don't eat it too much.
I could eat more chili if I, set my mind to it, but my thing is, soaking the black beans and preparing the chili, and it may be a bit much. I'm going for less. You realize that if you cut your intake of food by half, you'll live twice as long? I like chili powder. Yeah, I use it during the week quite often. If you cut your intake by half, and I'm not talking about stopping eating. I'm saying if you cut your intake right now, if you're eating food, and if you cut it by half, you'll live twice as long. That's about as sustainable as anyone can possibly be. That's the best bit of advice I can give any of you, no matter who you are. Jessica? We can probably open up cams when I get back, Jessica. Nice to see you. And Scissorfight, I made My Beautiful Cat Fluffy an op tonight. Okay, I'll turn on cams. Let's go ahead and give cams a shot. You guys keep your eye on the cams. We want to use the ProCam feature because Maxed Credit gifted us this month. And I know that he left earlier. He did some work and then he's off. But you guys who want to cam up can do that. Now, if it becomes a problem, this is your chance to actually be really quick on the trigger to kick these people or hush them. Scissorfight can hush them for a day. You know, I think the tiny house movement is not retarded. It's very sustainable. And I think if you think that about homeless people, you don't even belong here. Yeah.
But I have control of the mouse right now.
But Sarah's going to control the mouse. I'm going to take off
You
and
can
make
go
some dinner.
ahead if you want.
You may want to put the third party logo on our screen so they'll know. That's the one thing I wanted to do. When you're
I'll
done.
do all of that.
All right.
But at third party.
Yeah, at third
You
party.
can do that now if you want, but I can.
Well, yeah, it's already in the lineup, so I could just pull it out.
There you go. Sure. Are they related to higher education, which you suggested as a topic tonight, Miss Anthropy?
You have a tendency of creating
Yeah.
these. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, I know. It's
I know.
definitely an issue.
Yeah.
I've been using this technique for some time, and it's wonderful to have the ability to get.
Yeah. I know.
But it's nice to know there's no timetable, so the whole process itself can be processed slowly. Okay, apparently that was taken out.
Okay, I don't really care. I'll deal with all this. Thank you.
All right.
I'll just take that. I will take that as a compliment, G. Gordon Liddy. You say I look like your grandma. Thank you very much. I bet your grandma was a beautiful lady. Oh, wait. The UK has made it illegal to view terrorist material online. Max 15 sentence for a single click. What? And then they've also want Project Gutenberg archive. They're calling that terrorist material and demands removal from the Internet Archive. Wow, I'll leave those both up. Okay, I got both of them. They're in David's thing of links. Shall I bring those over? I don't have time to look at them right now because I've got to get ready for this chat, which I know it would be better if I got ready for the chat earlier. Hello, Tony Baby Oil. Thanks for casting. Wait, oops, sorry, that was too soon. You can come back and cast. Can I unkick him? I didn't mean to kick you. It was just I've been too trolled before. I could claim I was turning it up. Sure. Oh goodness. How many more do you have? Because I don't have time to do this. Sorry, Miss Anthropy. I'm doing them as fast as I can, but
this is a sign that conveys the message
okay,
of
I've
what
got
it means to be a Jew.
5 more.
As it says, a Jew, not a Zionist. And pray for the speedy, peaceful dismantlement
I
of the
don't
state of
know.
Israel. And then it's repeated, NKUSA.
I got a bunch more. Is these Russia Today ones the same? It's payback time. It's payback time. Okay, you want me to go through the ones? I might as well go through the ones you give. What else do you have? That is all. Thank you. The local AT, I didn't get that one. Okay. And YouTube, Robbie got it. Payback Time got it. Oh, the Business Insider one, I didn't get that. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, got your 7 links. I appreciate that. Okay, sorry, Tony Baby Oil. I did not mean to do that. All right, now I'm getting my 6 questions ready for my PolitiChat. Tonight, we're talking about the state of higher education. And I'll probably be promoting WGU because I like it. You're just a guest trying to get his attention. But he was so passionate at his conversation. Thanks. Can I unban your twin? I haven't read all of them to decide, so I'm going to go with my own economic theories, Spitfire TD, rather than someone else's theories. I have been known to sleep on cam before. That's true. But I've been better because I've decided to not watch television on weeknights, even though I could be tired tonight, but I have too much to do to be tired. So that's it. Be gone. Be gone with you. Oh goodness, what else? Why should we invest in higher education? That will be question 1. And David could say, no, we shouldn't, but I don't really care. Question 2. I should do this on Friday night because I'm always thinking about the chat on Friday night and then do it on Saturday night. I think I'll do that next time. No, actually, I don't know how you feel about the education system. Are there any particular questions you would like to ask about how other people feel about higher education? It's fine with me, Cliff, to chat. Question 2. How can we improve the state? No, my account, the account that claimed to be me was suspended on Twitter. My account is US third party. That has not been removed from Twitter. What's your username on Twitter? And I will follow you. For the most part, it isn't about actually learning, so If so, we teach people to think critically and how to use reason and logic. It trains people to be good workers and proper members of society by conforming. That's true. I would agree with that. Okay, Mad Puppy got it. Thank you. Please stop spamming. I know you want to be noticed, but you only have to do things maybe 3 times, not 16. I will, because I do get to the links. I do get to your information, but let other people do some things. Especially, well, stop! Okay, thank you. Thank you for stopping. Stopping the chat. Okay, now you can go. Now you can type. It was only 8. All right, well, eight's too many. All right, ready? Here's a distance high five. Get your hand ready, Tony. There we go. We did it. Perfect. Yes. Boom. That's called a virtual high five together. Yes.
What was that?
We have somebody that's casting on here, normal person, and he said, I like your show and I wanted to give you a high five. And so we did a high five. I said, get your hand ready.
Oh, great,
and we did
yeah.
a distance high five.
Great, thank you. All right.
I think I have heard of him. Begone that thought. I have heard of him. I know he's running for office. I haven't heard him, so I don't know. Oh, this is good. You want to talk about standpoint on high student loan interest and debt out of college, considering 74% of the people don't end up working in their field. That's a good one. I like that. What a good question, Tony. That's actually, I'm going to add that to my chat tonight. I wish it wasn't all in caps, but let me see if I can format it. Font. Oh, it just lets me change the font. I don't want to change the font. I wanted to change it too. Okay. I have an answer for you, Tony, too. I heard this incredible answer from Daniel Pink, who wrote a book called When, and I will talk about it during during the time in a little bit. And who else is on cameras? Cams. Oh, Jessica Loves Jesus. Yay! All right. Should we address high student loan debt? Student loan, yeah. Debt. Good question. That's going in the roll tonight. No, clicked up. I teach elementary school. That doesn't happen until maybe high school. Misanthropy has a good one back to you. I believe it. Children, he says, I believe children exiting high school, yes, they are still children, are taken advantage of and get thrown into debt as soon as they can legally be responsible for such, when at that age they should have no idea what it is they want to do with the rest of their lives, setting themselves up for a life of misery for themselves and those that they have to interact with. Good point, Misanthropy. You guys are having some good conversations here.
Are there any questions right now?
Not yet, David. It starts at 7 o'clock, which is, I have questions, but I don't want you to ask the question.
Okay, I'll be right back.
I don't want anything yet.
Yeah, we'll deal with that later.
Sorry, I'm on a
you're
specific
good.
time frame. I'm creating the questions right now.
Okay.
You watched 4 hours of the Masters today at work, plus you have the Dubs game on your second monitor. Dubs being UW, Masters being golf. Dropped frames on Vaughn. Oh, the Dubs is a Warriors. You're Augusta. Sadly, golf. Hey, that's fine. I just myself, I've never gotten into sports. Z as in you're tired, or z as in the chat stopped? I do know what you're saying. I'm sure working in a butcher shop is very difficult, real man's butcher, but I'm glad you're doing it. Someone has to do it, and I appreciate the nice meats. If you know what I'm saying. Oh, I'm so glad. And we've got Mad Dog too. How to get a Masters mugshot? What the heck is that? Oh wait, that's the Masters golf tournament. Okay, at the Sand Thief and other tournament foolishness. I'm not mad. I think parody is fine. And actually, if that person that had my name had said this is a parody account of Sarah, they're perfectly able to do that on Twitter. Okay, thank you, Misanthropy. I will not refresh. Okay, next. I probably won't listen to it now, but I'll check my IM. Oh. Yeah, I'm just not into. Okay, I just watched it pretty much, Tony. I'm just not into. Like crude humor, I guess is the word. I'm not a crude person. I'm too, I'm so conservative, I think is the word. Oh. Okay, first question. There might be another question that comes up later. Okay, don't say it from me. What's from me? Okay. And then I have to adjust some chats, some things. Three fingers, eh? Wow. Yes.
All right, I'm ready.
Oh, wait. Okay, I just have to search this.
It's a cold April we're having.
Yes, it is. What the heck is going on here? Okay. Why? I don't know why this is not working. But, and why it won't. I just tweeted. Okay. Why should we invest in higher education?
To help every person elevate to their highest potential.
And I'm going to add, we should invest in higher education
Right.
to help every person. because I always do that restating thing.
To elevate to their highest potential. And give people a chance to build a better life.
I think women say that, right? Jessica loves Jesus. I don't know. Guys, I feel like guys just claim that I don't know if guys actually like to cuddle. Oh, I like this. Man, Conservative for Life, you speak my language. I like what you say. I like a lot of what you say.
What's your take on that?
Well, I was gonna say remove. I like what Conservative for Life just wrote,
Okay.
which is her opening statement on higher education is that high schools need to promote the idea that a college degree isn't everything, and promote getting useful certifications in things like plumbing, electrician,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, we have our I was going to mention our 6-week to 6-month certification program.
Let me respond to her.
We promote a 6-week to 6 month certification program. Paid for.
Do you want me to? You want to type that, or you want me
Sure.
to do that? I mean, I got it.
I don't mind. Okay.
Wait, paid for. For is
Have their education
in which
paid
they have their, for which they have their education paid. There, you can take out the word for.
for. Okay.
Paid by others, paid for by others.
Paid by Pell Grants.
Wait. That's fine.
Okay. Thank you. Hey, yeah, okay. Pancakes and nanners. Oh, you had pancakes. What are nanners, Tom?
Bananas.
Bananas? Okay. Pancakes and bananas are nice. Nice job.
Oh, X. Here we go. Okay. It's not end up like this. We'll let it chat. You need to invest in higher education to complete. Oh, yes. to compete with other nations in terms of knowledge. We cannot just rely on immigration to give us the greatest minds. Ooh, good question. Good answer again. Don't even. Okay. It's funnier to have a degree while flipping burgers. All right. Good. I appreciate you, Mad Dog. Yes. He lives in France. He's an American citizen living in France. He is always a little bit negative. Oh, I should put in this question in here and see what you guys write. And then I should also add a tweet here. Okay, one more minute. Yes, so true. To create debt slaves and legitimize the system in order to keep the cycle going. You guys really have not been taught to restate your questions. To create debt slaves, that's not a sentence. Even the whole thing you wrote isn't a sentence. I have to put it in. Anyway. I'm going to call you sarcastic chatter on Twitter. Maybe not sarcastic. What's the best word? Not sarcastic chatter. We invest in higher education to create debt slaves and legitimize the system in order to keep the cycle going.
Yeah.
From a sarcastic chatter, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe not sarcastic.
Well, I mean, it's true. I mean, in many ways.
Then what's a better word for sarcastic?
Sarcastic chatter said, yes.
Yeah, okay. I'll just say that.
That'll be good, yeah.
Okay. Why should we wait? Another sarcastic chatter. We should invest in higher education for the colleges to make more money and buy their boats, cars, and estates. Okay. Okay, Vaughn Live is up. Is up and running. Oh, yeah. It's all propaganda. That's funny. All right, next question. I'm going to post it on Twitter and then I'll post it in here. Okay. Ooh. That's a good one, Real Man. So you could do that. And I like that. Oh no. I like what you wrote. Improve higher education by teaching skills required. Aren't you Real Man's Butcher on Twitter too? I like that. That was a good answer, Real Man's Butcher. Russia will have more educated people to work with when they invade. Okay. Oh, yes, so true. Thank you. Oh, but you're real. Okay. You knew a professor that guy didn't know much. He could train you for a future profession, but besides that, he was rather clueless on the subject. Oh, that's pretty funny. What happened to David on the other channel? David, what do you mean? On Vaughn Live? On Live we were having issues, but we're back. But David's in the other room. Yeah, usually people do defend the system they're part of. No, we should be back over on Bond Live. Exactly, Ticken. But don't you have bias against? I should tweet that. I should ask you. I should type that. Don't you have bias, misanthropy, against people? Do you have a bias against groups in general? Ha ha, Ticken. Yeah, you might be right. I think I'm in that 1%. No. Just kidding. The 1% that you think are worth it. Oh yes, that's a good one. Wait, this one needs... Might have to refresh this. Oh, that's why. I forgot to go to latest. Reinstate slavery so the government makes enough money for a tuition-free education program. We do need more professors with real-world experience, not professors that went from being in school for decades, getting their PhDs, and then having no real experiences to share. You've got some good insight there. There's a huge disconnect between what's being taught and is needed by employers, and improve higher education by teaching skills required for today's job market instead of what the professors want to teach. Get rid of guaranteed student loans, which will lower the artificial cost of colleges, and make more families aware of 529 savings plans. All great ideas. Very good. We'll see what David says in a minute. Moving on. We'll come back to David's later. This question came directly from Tony Baby Oil. The next question. Which is, how should we address high student loan debt that people end up in right out of college, considering 74% of people don't end up working in the field in which they got their degree? That's pretty funny. Flip to chat, higher education's like a scam. Remove non-essential artistic degrees because our current business model doesn't require much 18 feet tall statues. Okay, 2 questions for you, David.
Yeah.
First question is, how can we improve higher education? This is to show you David thinks on his feet.
By introducing a Socratic method of shared learning and bridging the gap and between the ivory towers on Main Street.
Okay. I kind of like what Conservative for Life said about high student loan debt. Like, don't allow people to offer the student loans in the first place. Is that basically what you were saying, Conservative for Life? I think that's what you were saying. Oh. Somewhat loans can still be out there, but they're not guaranteed. Guaranteed student loans. What do you mean by guaranteed student loans? Like everyone's guaranteed even if they're not proven credit worthy? Is that what guaranteed you mean by guaranteed student loans? Okay, next question. How should we address high student loan debt that people end up in right out of college, considering 74% of people don't end up working in the field in which they earned their degree? This came from a chatter, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Wait, I'm going to show these first. Oh, that's funny. College isn't the only route to take. A lot of people pick a college out of fear, and it ends up screwing them in the long term as they think they're not suited for what the job market demands of them. Right. Okay.
I would say lock in on student tuition with Pell Grants. Lock in on fixed rate tuition with the power of Pell Grants. Lowering student costs. Books too.
Can you describe more about that?
Yes, the Pell Grant system has leverage.
Wait, just what? Just
Okay.
one moment. I'm going to just put this in there and then I will.
I think we have a lot of leverage with the Pell Grant system. I think we can lock in on fixed tuition rates, which would lower the costs. Plus,
So how would this be? You were going to elaborate, or do you want me to elaborate?
well, no, that would be one idea. Another idea is to amalgamate the debt load into one loan at a fixed rate. Also, amalgamate the debt
So,
load.
AKA universities, like, universities would not be able to receive grants if they,
Right.
unless they're,
Unless they keep their tuition at a fixed rate. No raises. No raises at all allowed. That's the concept. Using leverage, it would have to be by a legislative decision to raise rates for college students. It guarantees the for-profit education system doesn't take hold. It prevents the for-profit. We need to prevent the for-profit education industry from. What happened?
I think I have insert on.
Oh, okay.
What do you guys think of David's idea? He wants to use the hook of Pell Grants and tell colleges you can set your rates, but if you have a higher rate, if you're charging more than a certain rate, then your students will not be receiving Pell Grants. Well, I didn't like your discussion earlier, so yes, go ahead. You can say, what do you actually think? As long as it doesn't involve any kind of human body part, go ahead and say what you think.
Okay, I think we should amalgamate the FAFSA loans into one fixed rate loan so people can pay their loans back faster. Right now, interest is so high that people can barely even pay their loans back.
I don't even know if I spelled that right.
Amalgamate, A-M-A-L-G-A-M-E.
FAFSA, loans.
Amalgamate the existing loans. There's $1.3 trillion in existing loans right now. FAFSA loans. There's $1.3 trillion in FAFSA loans. Let's amalgamate it under a fixed rate and help people pay them back faster. Charging lower interest. We got to get the interest rate down. It's killing our system.
I have a great idea. And actually,
Yeah, that'll be great.
I have a great idea, which
is
I
it?
just heard from
Yeah.
a book I just read.
Mm-hmm.
It is that the interest rate should be tied into the economy. So that if the economy is and unemployment rates. Actually, I'm going to tweet this that A3 that Daniel Pink's book When, it's called When is his book, suggests that student loans should be based on the unemployment rate. If there is a lower unemployment rate, there can be, if there's a lower unemployment rate,
Yes.
there could be a higher loan,
Okay, good. A higher interest rate.
higher interest rates.
Great. So the lower the unemployment, it's kind of a seesaw. You know, if the lower unemployment occurs, then yeah, interest rates can go up a little bit. Makes sense. My concern is that that's difficult to gauge that unless we buy out the entire note. If we tell all the banks and institutions that lend to higher education that they have to constantly, flex a rate, they may just balk, But buying them out consolidates the debt and will lower the interest rate and the amount of money we have to pay back by probably 45% in the long run. Because remember, everybody's making payments that's mostly going toward the interest. I've talked to people that have paid their student loan debts for 30 years and haven't been able to make more than 10 or 20% headway toward their total debt. And that's true of the home loan and mortgage as well. It's set up to screw the person who's paying it off. So if we consolidated the debt, my point was that we can get it under one fixed rate as opposed to multiple variable rates, and then we could do what you're saying, which we'd have the ability to do that then. Otherwise, it would be difficult to choreograph all these institutions to work together. Hey, Dave, what happened that made you split with your? That's not my brother.
Denny is a wannabe.
He's a wannabe. He's not my brother, man. There's no
That's someone
he's an imposter.
who knows, maybe he changed his name just because he loves David so much. I have no idea.
He's an imposter, actually. My real brother is, I haven't seen him in a long time.
Okay. What would an ideal higher education system look like?
Well, where the university demonstrates a practical use for their degree. And that's something Bagnot thought says, Begon thought says. Make universities demonstrate a practical use of a degree in a field. And this is kind of exactly where I was going with the 6 week to 6 month certification program. I believe that, just to expound on this, I believe that we can actually get local businesses to teach the course. If they have a need for a student, for a loan from our infrastructure bank, they'll want to hire people and train people. And what better way to offer a free training course to be certified in their company and have a certification demonstrated that they can do their job at that company. It's a perfect match. Yeah. And then they probably would provide free education, considering we're giving them the opportunity to a loan at 2%. And if they can tell their students exactly what they need from them, and then their students will be very well trained. It's matching business needs to education abilities. I didn't really need to go to school, Jordan. I chose to be eclectic in my learning and studied from all different aspects of the growing technology we call the internet. It is a live cast, yes, Sammy. Sammy Davis is here. Sammy, you've been dead for a few years. Tell us about that. Beautiful cat Fluffy has something she's sending Tom. Okay. We need open sourced education with no charge, run by AI. Robots will be able to teach and correct without any bias. Absolutely. I think we could integrate that in. I'd like to see much more software opportunities, learning from home, interactive gaming, that kind of thing.
Can we write that?
Yes, definitely. I agree with Sammy Davis on that one. Interactive learning from home, much more open source education. You can just copy what he said there.
I will copy what he said in a minute.
Oh, take your time. Corporate sponsorship would work, yeah, absolutely. Corporate sponsorship of the certification program is exactly what I want to pair it off with. And remember, this will only be available for U.S. students, this program. Illegal aliens, green card holders won't be able to qualify to get these programs. Yeah, just
They can
strictly
start.
U.S.
They'll
citizens.
start them in their own country. Maybe
Yeah.
they'll do it before us.
Exactly. Yeah, this is awesome. Thank you so much for doing
The
this, Sarah.
colleges can be paid off by working part-time while in college, and we're promoting programs that are not all college degree based. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Costs have soared while wages have not. So true. Wages have remained static for about 20 years. Actually, more like 30 years. You could probably find a job in 1989 paying around the same you'd get in some of the cities in America right now. I know if you go back east, your minimum salary is going to be $7.50 an hour, if you're lucky. Out here on the West Coast, your probably minimum salary is going to be $10 an hour, which is better than the East Coast. Property values are lower on the East Coast. They're higher out here. Rent is higher out here, ironically. I really see a resurgence in the growth of our core states, the colonial states especially. Those states are going to probably flourish as, instead of deteriorate, I think they're going to flourish. Because I think a lot of people like the fact that they can live at a lower cost and own a house. And I think a lot of young people are going to be moving back east to buy houses after they graduate. And the East Coast colleges, they've kind of got a lock on education. So if you're coming from a West Coast college, there's a transition. But if you really want to make a life for yourself, you have to get ahead of your debt. Otherwise, you're going to be constantly making those payments on your 30-year mortgage. And then when you're 50 or 60, like I know a guy who's 60 who just took out a second 30-year mortgage. That's like, dude, you're going to be 90 when you're paying that off. And he says, I just want to die with as most debt as he can possibly acquire, based on his credit. That's his big goal, is to die with like tons of credit card debt. It's like, gosh, really? That's your big goal in life, is to die with all this debt?
That was a nice thing to say. Thank you. So you're getting horny right now? Really?
Okay, let's just move on.
More people are... Okay. Yeah, drugs are very popular among young people now. That's the problem. We made opium so cheap because of the obvious Afghanistan situation where the warlords continue to get good deals and our government covers them. So drugs like heroin have become very rampant within our cities. They're definitely like drawing a huge undertow on young people getting started in life. Drugs are a huge problem in the 20s. People really fall into that drug category, and that's their permanent state the rest of their life. I also want to make one modification. I'd like to lower the age of independence, financial independence, from 25 to 21. Lowering the age of financial independence from 25 to 21 would open up so many more people to keep the ball rolling, keep their education going. Many people want to get emancipated and they have to wait till they're 25 to do it, and they're really ready to go at 21 and their mind is ready to, get more information. It happened to me. I can tell you that was a serious thing. 25 to 21. Make the new time of financial independence 21. Makes sense to me. I mean,
Should I pay, especially if their parents aren't willing to pay for their education?
yeah,
Just-
sure, if you want to write that. Yeah, especially if their parents aren't willing to pay for their education. I had to wait 7 years to get financial independence, to get any loans, and by the time I got back into school when I was 28, it was a disaster. I can't tell you how demoralizing it was to sit in the classroom with people who were 20, 19, 20, and then look at you going, dude, what's wrong with you? Why are you so old? Yeah. What do you, like, are you disabled or something? It's like people couldn't, I remember this one really, yeah. It's just it's a stigma that you get when you're 29, 30, and you're in school at 21 with 21-year-olds.
I think I did it.
Why would you be in the Twilight Zone?
Or wasn't I?
Huh?
I did it.
Yeah, you had financial independence.
No, I was in school with younger students.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, but you didn't have that big, huge.
But of course, I was at a community college. I wasn't at a university.
Therein lies the next.
My
thing.
university was a different experience because I was actually in school with a young person, a very young person, but they weren't all young. There was a mixture.
Well, thanks for sharing your begone thought. Not to you, Sarah. This first name begone thought.
I know. Sorry.
Well, this is the thing. Community college is a better stepping stone for all of you, and I wanted to kind of round out the sustainable aspect of this, because if you focus on your first 2 years in community college and get an AA degree, you're not going to be financially strapped. So, what happened to Siren C? Junket? Yeah. What are you, just naming people that have been around in the show? Hang on, yeah, there we go. Thank you. She did? Oh, I'm so sorry. Siren C passed away? No kidding. Oh, okay. I'm so sorry to hear that. That's happened to quite a few people we've met online. She used to come into our show all the time. Yeah, you'd have to prove to me that that's true. Okay, you're gone for tonight. Take care, Jessica. Jessica Loves Jesus is going for
Thanks
the night.
for being here.
Yeah, I just can't imagine the OD factor is huge. A lot of people are hitting fentanyl patches too hard and dying. I believe fentanyl patches should be outlawed myself. I don't know why our government hasn't taken the lead on this.
Okay. The question is, how does the current state of higher education affect future generations?
Wow. It's a loaded question.
I know, I always have loaded questions like that.
It'll continue the class separation. It furthers the class separation between the rich and the poor. It furthers the class separation between the rich and the poor. It's an instrument of separation. So many people now feel like they're professionals, they're making $100,000 a year. Everyone else is beneath them. That's a problem. It encourages separateness.
I put at a time when we need to unite.
Right.
Okay. All right.
And some people, love the education community, so it has its own economy too. The education community has its own revolving door, which is good, actually. Some people make great professors. Woodrow Wilson, our famous president, Woodrow Wilson, was actually a bad lawyer. So he went back to college and got a PhD and became an educator before he went on to politics. So a lot of people use the education system to get a job and stay and work. That's actually a good thing. The education system does employ a lot of people, but we've been allowing for-profit private education systems to really get ahead of us. Public education is losing to private for-profit education. That's the problem. Well, whatever Wilson was, he was certainly one of the worst presidents we've ever had. Signing the Federal Reserve Act into law was the biggest mistake he ever made, and he admitted it, actually. He realized that he had given away our country to a central bank. And one of the last things he said was it was the worst mistake of his life before he passed away. David, if I make a new username, will you remember who I am or ban me?
If you tell us in advance, we'll remember who you are.
Yeah, we have to know exactly who your username is. Are you thinking of something like nihilist, or what's your next step beyond misanthropy? Apocalyptic nihilist?
I thought maybe he was no longer a misanthrope.
No, he's still misanthropy. The girlfriend thing didn't work out.
we're he liked yours. I don't know. Never mind.
How about abject angry guy? Or no, I don't think you're that angry. I think you're just disappointed. His problem is he has 156 IQ. That's actually a detriment in our society.
Yeah.
Yeah, you may be overeducated for life. Excuse me, 158 plus. I'm just going to go ahead and say it's 160, okay, misanthropy? If that's okay with you. There's enough variance to give you an extra couple points just for being here. Yeah, he's got 160 IQ. That's his problem. No wonder he finds humanity such a letdown.
Usually most people that have a high IQ do find it disappointing. I don't know what my IQ is. I've never been tested.
Yeah, you don't have to. You got a Mensa scholarship. That alone gives you a high grade.
It's just because that's just the way I think. I mean, I just wrote an article about the way I think.
Cool. You have an amazing mind. That's one of the things that attracted me to you is your mind. It's so powerful.
Well, I am a sapiophile, so.
Well, thank you for that too. But you really have the ability to concentrate, and I know you inherited this from your dad, because I've seen him reading a book in one day or 2 days.
Well, my dad doesn't. He'll read like a book like that in a day.
In a day, he'll go through a book like that in a day.
It's like, especially if it's sci-fi, boom, done. Next book, next.
He absorbs it like a sponge. I've never seen anybody read as fast as her dad and enjoy it. I can read as fast, but my retention level is relatively low. I have 6,000 words per minute capability, but I have almost 0% retention. For instance, I can show you how fast I can read. Oh, we should read from the Coronet. I haven't read this in a while. I think it was 1936 that I read this article.
My gosh, there's naked pictures in here. Look at that. That's very risque for the time period. It's like a thigh. Yeah, I'm just reading the Coronet magazine. It was very interesting. It's full of. And then you have the Madonna as mother. Look at that. What a beautiful picture. Ah, yes. No, it'd be difficult to read something this fast because I could if
I'd
I
love
flip
to
through
read.
it. Yeah, but if I flip through it, I'd get very little information. I'd have to actually. But look how beautiful this is. I never realized the color photographs in here. Check this out. Isn't that cool? Just
Well,
amazing.
it's all about art.
It's like
I don't want
angels.
to read it.
Angels and art. Oh yes, it's full of art. The textual features.
I'm not that into art. But I do have this book I'm reading. I'll show you it in a minute.
Is that your grandmother? Not you, but is that somebody's grandmother? Anybody know?
Matt S. says the Midwest has lower costs of living, but the wages are lower too.
True. That's what I was saying about the East Coast too. Art died a long time ago with Andy Warhol. He pretty much burned it to the ground. I have met people with an Andy Warhol collection.
So I go over here, and this is Mathematics for the Million.
Oh, nice.
I already did this page, though.
Oh, you're reading from the
Page
text
number.
of very old documents. Wow.
No, this isn't that old. This is like,
It was written in 1952, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Oh,
About this book, let's see.
because I read the first edition.
1968.
Thank you. 1968. Yeah, that's when I first read it.
You read this book?
No, I just read the title, so therefore I have 0.1% retention of reading the book. Knowing the title is a small amount of knowing what's in the book. You want to hear something really funny? Edgar Cayce, the famed he actually healed people. Edgar Cayce went into kind of a sleep trance, and he started answering questions about health issues. His wife would write notes, and for some weird reason, he helped everybody with what they were ailing, somehow by giving them natural solutions. But Edgar Cayce actually said that if you put a book underneath your head and sleep on it, yeah, he was a psychic, thank you. He said if you put your head under your book under your head and sleep on it, it'll actually absorb information. I find that really, really funny. But when you think about it, the roller on a musical piano, that rolls, has little numerical issues or little punch marks which make it play. Wow, you have explosive diarrhea. That's going around. Yeah, you should harness that energy. Oh, according to Steve Camarata, every illegal alien costs Americans $70,000 over their lifetime. Thank you for that link. Okay, good. Chat room celebrity, and then this one, Misanthropy has. At $75,000, housing a prisoner in California now costs more than a year in Harvard. That's another good one. Thank you, guys. Very similar. Illegal aliens are costing about the same as housing a prisoner, $70,000 to $75,000 a year, more than a Harvard graduation. So technically, we're giving people who are the worst people on earth the most money. Yet our education system set up to kind of like force young people to go broke. These are the people who should be getting that money, not prisoners and illegal aliens. You can try to sleep on your Bible. Maybe it might give you some solace or peace. Let me grab it for a second. Okay, let's take a look at this meme that Scissor Fight is going to give us. Thank
Why
you.
don't you put it over here?
I
Then
know.
You don't have to do that desktop region thing all the time. You just slide it. Okay.
Okay, so looking here at the meme, this is a dog looking at when your dog eats your philosophy homework. Wow. So the dog got really intelligent all of a sudden, realized what to do. Just look at the ocean. So you're out for tonight?
Yep.
Okay,
Good
so
night.
thank you for the Twitter session. Good night.
Anything else?
No, I think I got enough coffee for the rest of
Or
the
I
night.
have to give you a break, unless you want to do
Yeah, in about a half an hour, 40 minutes if you could. Thank you.
like 8 o'clock.
Yeah, 8:30 would be good. If you don't mind.
Yep.
Thank you, Sarah. Dinner is ready, by the way. I made chicken breast. I got these really tender chicken breasts at Trader Joe's. Completely organic or non-GMO. And they're just so good, right out of the freezer. And then I put some cheese on top, melted. Of course, I cooked them with herbs, onions, mushrooms. And then I made some wontons that were pre-made, chicken wontons, cilantro, and cauliflower, all mixed up together for her dinner tonight. Isn't that nice? Help yourself to all the chicken you want. I hardly eat any carbs. There's just the wontons that were just the only, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Memories stretched across my brain like wildfire. Here's a very short video you may appreciate, Dave. Really. Joe Cartoon. Joe Cartoon. Let's take a look.
When people use the Chinese blender, they're not the best blenders. They have a lot of problems. They're made out of lead. They're electrical hazards. They're rapists.
Okay, this looks good. I'm only allowed to play 8 seconds due to Digital Copyright Millennial Act requirements. Digital Millennial Copyright Act, excuse me. Thank you. I don't have weight issues, no. I've been very I perhaps over the past year with the show being so stressful, I think I've gained about 10 pounds. You know, I don't consider that a serious problem.
You look great.
Thanks, but I am working on it. North Korea willing to take part in talks if the U.S. has the right attitude. So we better not send any more, people that look like Tony Soprano over to meet Mr. Kim Jong-un. You know what I'm talking about? Mr. Pompeo's been a little bit, out there on a limb. Pompeo, I believe, is not the right guy to communicate with Kim Jong-un, simply because Pompeo looks like Tony Soprano. And they were very upset that they felt like they were dealing with mobsters. Well, yeah, you are. That's with dealing with mobsters, that's what it looks like. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking to you. You looking at me? I'm looking at you. Okay. You're going to meet in Hanoi, Mr. Kim Jong-un, or whether you like it or not. You know what I'm talking about? Dennis Rodman couldn't be coherent enough to actually hold a conversation other than, yeah. Other than that. If we could get something a little bit more, that would have been great. Offers of denuclearization, Dennis, that'd be great. Donald Trump can't even pronounce the word denuclearization. He calls it the big word, where you do the whole big word thing. Oh, yeah, sure. Rodman. Come on, with a name like that, you gotta wonder. I wonder about a lot of things, David. We've been analyzing the show from your digital perspective. I hope I'm not freaking you out. Hi. I was trying the cyber guy earlier to see how it worked. Well, I don't really think North Korea should tell us what to do at this point. They've had plenty of time. Oh, are you kidding me, Shelley? I had over 3 to 5 death threats a day. It's crazy.
And then the realization that I'm being censored across the globe? Come on. You must be kidding. I mean, that's seriously stressful. How would you like to be treated like you didn't even matter for 10 years, ignored by the media, censored because your message is so spot on, and then find out people are getting paid millions of dollars just to do that? And then my own supporters, I can't even convince that those people are getting millions of dollars. How does that creates a huge rift? I've got supporters that don't even believe that anyone's getting paid to censor me, yet my entire Twitter follower count has remained the same for 9 years. That's impossible. Same with the subscription count on YouTube. That's impossible. Yet I can't convince people are being paid to censor me. It's kind of bizarre. We have a person we have to remove from the show permanently again. All right. Kim has gargoyle eyes. He's got gargoyle eyes. He's got gargoyle eyes. Tell me. We would love to find out more about Seth Rich, but Mueller didn't want to bother investigating. We have found a picture of Seth Rich. The police say that he was killed by a guy he would have known. The police have reported that he would have been killed by somebody he knew. And because there's not much of a struggle, look at his picture with earlier in the evening at the bar. Seth Rich and Imran Awan were standing next to each other the night before he died. Seth Rich died the next morning. He was shot 3 times in the back, and apparently this guy right here in the front, apparently he was treated at the hospital and he was doing well, according to some reports. But they had a VIP thing put on this room and no one could go in, not even the hospital staff, and somehow he died. So there's foul play at the hospital that needed to be investigated. It wasn't. Seth Rich wasn't even investigated by Robert Mueller. Yet it's more than obvious that Seth Rich was the only person who could have accessed Hillary's emails. Over 30,000 emails of hers and over 50,000 of John Podesta's, which, by the way, 7,000 are missing from the WikiLeaks drop. So something's not right with WikiLeaks either. They've held back. They may have been, completely gone through. We know that Strzok, the FBI agent, went through Hillary's emails and culled them down to 3,500 from 30,000. And that's specifically weird in and of itself. And I agree with the Republicans that we should see if the FBI actually tried to help Hillary in every way. Because the FBI looks dirty. Comey looks dirty. And I don't blame Donald Trump for firing Comey in that respect. But he wasn't legally able to fire him at that time because he wanted to end the Russian investigation. And that in and of itself is admission of obstruction of justice. Period. Unequivocally. Oh, have we... Phoebe, hello. We haven't seen you in a while. It's Phoebe. Another Twitter here. Let's go here. Dude called out Bill Clinton like a boss. Let's take a look.
Jeffrey Epstein, flying on the Lolita Express. Bill, this is boring. Why don't you talk about Jeffrey Epstein? I want to know about you and Jeffrey Epstein.
We're delayed due to interruptions, unbeknownst to us. Due to technical difficulties, this show has been interrupted by the...
Talk about... No, you...
Important that when we talk about...
Jeffrey Epstein, flying on the Lolita Express. What's that?
It's also...
You know it, Bill.
You know it, Bill. Bill, this is boring. Let's hear about Jeffrey Epstein and the Lolita Express. I think we can just pass on Kim Jong-un for a while. We don't need to worry about him. Yeah, he's being handled by Russia. They got him on a short string. I mean, look at how he wanted to go to Hanoi to get 900,000 bottles of vodka and didn't get them because Lavrov turned him in. I mean, come on. Russia's got Kim Jong-un right where they want him. Oy vey, we have a person saying you don't like Jewish people. What's wrong with you? Are you anti-Semitic? What's going on here? We don't allow anti-Semitism in the show. So, yeah. Dave, can you please address these allegations? Department of Homeland Security took down Vaughn channels tonight. I don't know. Maybe there's an ongoing investigation. I have no idea. How many are down? Oh, they're all down except me. I'm not sure. Okay, Phoebe's here. It says, I tried both Google and Duck to get on, and it said bad gateway. I spoke to Ms. Scruffy about it. I don't know, Phoebe. The servers may just be down. You know, Vaughn has some problems sometimes resetting servers. And some people were up. Last week we were down. Maybe it's your turn to go down tonight. It may not be DHS. They took 15 channels down. Do you have a DHS warrant? And have they given you administrative rights to talk about this? I don't know. It could be any number of things. It could be DDoS. DDoS. How you doing? My name's DDoS. That'd be terrible if you were named that way. Yeah. But that's another thing. They can DDoS that channel. Vaughn was not down. You got on with Bing. Google bought DuckDuck. Oh, Google, yeah. DuckDuck was always purchasable. Google works with the government and DARPA. Department of Defense works collaterally with Google to watch and maintain complete and utter privacy violations on your personal freedom, and everything that you have in your internet is completely, everything is seen from outside. Apparently, according to the Vault 7 documents, the NSA has hacking tools that can hack in any computer anywhere in the world. Yeah. And they even released those when they released the Vault 7 tools. So apparently we're all vulnerable at this point. Our government's at least 15 years behind the curve on the internet. Yeah, Google Earth relied completely on the mapping system, geo-mapping systems of the U.S. government and the U.S. geological surveys that were done, geographical surveys that were done. And they used all of that, Google did, for free. So the partnership with the government has been long-standing. And it undermined a lot of businesses too, Sammy. I know a couple of mapping businesses that went under because of this. Google has been like eBay is to the collector's market and destroying collectability. It just reduces everything to nothing. Google is to the services that are used for businesses to provide data, geographic data, demographic data, all of that, completely manipulated by Google. So Google has actually been like a socialist tool, national socialist tool, to manipulate all of us. I would like it to be a democratically controlled socialist tool. If it's going to be anything, if the government really could convert to a democratically led oversight would be of the people, nobody on YouTube would be kicked off without a review. And an ombudsman group would be representative of anyone protesting, and there'd be like a 800 number to call, and you'd be able to talk to somebody. Talking to Google is impossible. If you get kicked off, I've opened up 3 or 4 disputes that were completely ignored by Google. They won't talk about anything with me. But if you're completely owned by the government and that you say whatever they want you to say, and your YouTube channel is kind of mindless, yeah, they'll keep you on, and they give you 500,000 subscribers, and you'll make AdSense money. But you have to do one thing and not talk about your views. If you open up your mouth about views and political things, I just step right into it with this third party. So I'm a perfect litmus test to see how corrupt our government is relative to its oppression of our free access to the internet. I'm the perfect litmus test. In fact, we're running this as like I guess you call it a honeypot in some ways. Not that we're drawing any information. We're not taking any of your information, your name or anything. We're just collecting data on the situation. I'm writing a book, which I'm adding to the book, a discussion of the breakdown of our democracy. And in this book, I'm using a lot of the data that I've acquired from this as a sample of what's happening. We're almost the perfect litmus test for this. And I'm characterizing us as just that. So whatever they're doing to keep us from coming into the mainstream media and getting the message out in America is the template of what they're going to be using on everybody from here until eternity, unless we can stop them politically. Good night, Inventor Jim. Thanks for coming in. I guess you didn't want to go on camera tonight because you were a little private, probably a little too many, yeah, it's cool. The agreement you signed was to share your info, not to rape me or your personal freedom, not make profit in my info. That is an angle. Yeah, you're right. Well, they've been doing this with everybody. They're not necessarily making a profit, Phoebe. They're just keeping people off who are maybe talking about issues they don't want anyone to talk about. It could be a government crackdown. Every lawyer out there is Jewish. I've never met a non-Jewish lawyer. Seriously. I've never met a non-Jewish lawyer in my life. As president, I would recommend a blend of indica and sativa, depending on your mood. Kush is one of those things. They're doing hybrids of the two. Oh yeah, they sell ads, sure, on what they like. Yeah, I know they profit from it. Well, that's what Mark has to make a profit, technically, but he's been relying more on censorship than profit. I think that's my take. It may not be true, but I think he makes money censoring us. Me in particular. David, look, you get a new computer-generated face every time you refresh. Really? Huh, look at this. Check this out, everybody. This is a computer-generated face that it doesn't exist. This person doesn't exist. There's nobody who looks like him in the world. Not even me. So, yeah. But you got to admit, I look a lot like him. Yeah. Okay, let's refresh. Oh, now I'm a Chinese boy. Hi, everyone. Oh, Chinese woman. Oh, you're so happy. Thank you. Now I'm getting really happy. Oh, hello, Taiwan. I'm so glad you came to the show. I'm working on my PhD in underwater basket weaving. I want to meet a man sometime in my life. Why are you treating me this way? I did not deserve to be born into this world. That's too fun. Thank you very much. I can't believe these computer-generated faces. That's the funniest thing ever. Amazing. Yeah. Ticken was talking about the face over. Well, I'm happy with it. It doesn't matter. I can't shrink my forehead, Phoebe. David doesn't shrink his forehead. It's stuck this way. I can't even control how big it is. My mother used to complain about having given birth to me because it was such a big head. Yeah, I mean, what am I going to say? I was like, sorry, Mom, I got a big head. Well, I'm sorry you had to find this out the hard way. I mean, a lot of you are facing difficult reality checks in life. Facebook accidentally put hidden messages like Big Brother is watching and the Masons were here in tens of thousands of VR controllers. Wow. Does this not get weird? Facebook said it accidentally included cryptic hidden messages in tens of thousands of its Oculus Touch virtual reality controllers. Printed inside its touch controllers were phrases like Big Brother is watching and the Masons were here. Very weird stuff, I'll tell you. And on another a parallel note, We just got the confidential PCR status report of Stephen Paul Jobs. Yeah. The late billionaire. And in it, it talks about HIV being positive. Steve Jobs, look at that. And HIV is positive. Yeah, so somebody was hiding the idea that Steve Jobs could be, suffering from AIDS. Yeah, it's a WikiLeaks Steve Jobs release. That came up from the WikiLeaks thing. I'll give you a link to it if you want to see it. Yeah, here's the link to it. It just came to me tonight. Yeah, so Steve Jobs apparently had HIV. Now that's not allowed here. You're not allowed to come into the show because you've obviously faked your death there, buddy. You saw a young liberal meltdown today. It was when it was told that NSA and other three-letter words were watching. They explained, "I'm not affiliated with this group. I'm here to watch a movie." What group are you talking about? Yeah, we've never done anything illegal, and other people online, you shouldn't feel bad expressing your views. You can't possibly expect to be kicked off the internet for expressing your views. You're not threatening anybody. You're protected. Oh, well, InfoWars is a joke. Basically, Alex Jones is controlled opposition. They just made a symbol of him when they kicked him off. He's back on again. He's still doing his show, selling his vitamins. Yeah, that wasn't any new dump yesterday. That was an old file already out there. The orders of the Knights of Malta and the Pope are fighting for a large sum of trust money. How do you know that, Sammy Davis? The connection between the Masons and the Pope and the Vatican, the Masons, and the Zionists is very, very interesting. I've been tracking it. And it's like the triumvirate. All the people together. All the king's men. The Zionists, represented by AIPAC and the oligarchs, are one faction of this group. The Vatican, which obviously has been around for nearly a 1,000 years, they actually they predate. They're a little bit later than the origin of the Masons and Sir Francis Drake, who was originally contrived by the Knights Templar. So the Knights Templar date back to about 1100 AD. The Vatican predates, I guess, Peter. If you go back to the year 2000, years to Jesus, and if you take the papal ministry seriously, that they somehow had Peter start their church, then that would put them way back 2,000 years. And the Zionists date back to the 1880s, and their goal is to control the world and bring these groups in, or vice versa. They're all working together. They're in total cahoots. So if you're wondering about the structure, I've been analyzing it for some time. I can't stop these people. The goal would be to build a bridge across this corruption long enough to help the country survive and build necessary tools for the government to run efficiently, get a return on investment, and not simply draw money from your tax dollars like the Democrats, Republicans want to do. That would make us insulated from the power of these people. But right now, they control us through the Federal Reserve and the Global World Authority. Yeah. Vittorio bites now? Is that what he's doing? You've got a video? Oh, we saw this, yeah. The guy spits on his hand. Well, how else was he supposed to deal with this problem? Yeah, this is a newscaster, Matt Bradley, MSNBC, spitting on his hand to comb his hair. There he is. I mean, he's out in the field, no green screen. He's using his spit on his head. And this guy doesn't have any hair, so he doesn't have to worry about it. Thanks for sharing, Pitoro. You believe the Knights Templar were a banking scheme? Very likely so. And you know, there's a new group called the New Knights Templar, and Anders Breivik was a member of that group. They say there are about 1,200 or so members worldwide. Anders Breivik is the guy that shot those 77 kids in Oslo, and is serving only a 25-year sentence, probably be out in about 10 years. They even built a Kush prison for him in Norway. Assange should have exposed 9/11. Many lives would have been saved. Assange, well, first of all, Julian Assange never really had any. If they pulled him in and he had the ability to communicate via tweet, which he did, how come he couldn't influence us that way? I don't understand. He's been tweeting for the past 7 years. I'm of the belief that Julian Assange is a puppet or some sort of a public relations scam to get information that we're supposed to hear out. Like the Iraq War was obviously conducted in a way that was very destructive to human life. That was a big part of the WikiLeaks. But the most interesting thing about the WikiLeaks, in my opinion, is Chelsea Manning won't testify even though she has immunity. And that means that Chelsea Manning must feel like her life is at stake if she talks. So there must be something to the WikiLeaks that she can't even divulge, even with immunity. That's suspicious. Thank you. I'm praying for Pope Francis's eternal salvation in God's eyes after turning 2,000 people away who were seeking salvation and safety and safe haven from a communist revolution in his country of Argentina. I certainly hope God looks upon him kindly in lieu of the fact that he turned them all away and they all died. God's watching. Yeah, Chelsea had to be arrested because Chelsea won't speak out. She has full immunity, but she won't speak out. That means that Chelsea feels safer in prison. What does that tell you? That's suspicious. That means that Chelsea knows something that's much more powerful than she's letting on. Hey, other one, welcome. Yeah, let's get some music going in here. I haven't really kicked into my next level. Got a musical background. That's kind of cool. That's the inside of an old Stradivarius. They put a micro camera inside of a Stradivarius, and that's the inside. Isn't that fascinating? Yeah. No, not Chelsea Clinton. It's Chelsea Manning and the WikiLeaks story. That's what I was talking about. Melt Away. I have a Melt Away 3. Let's hear that.
Cause you make me melt away. You're my Mr. Right, my Mr. Right, too good to be true. You spin my world around, cause you're the peace I find. They found you sweep me off my feet, my heart stops to beat. Cause you make me melt away. You're my Mr. Right, too good to be true.
Okay, that's it. Now, moving on. Chelsea is very, yeah. What do you mean nobody even knows that Chelsea Clinton exists? She's very, very popular in the Church of Satan. She's been tweeting with members of the Church of Satan. You didn't know that? We have evidence of possibly a three-dimensional or 3D CGI or an actual Aberration, occupying a plastic bag. Let's take a look. Whoa. Plastic bag caught walking across a busy road. Thank you. That was freaky. Yeah. I'm glad we saw that. It kind of gave me goosebumps. Do you think that's the plastic bag revolting? David, migrants have broke through Mexico's southern border. I know. There are many more people coming up to the border. This is why I've been talking to you about building a small castle to protect you from the dangerous illegal aliens. I have here a place that all of us could go and get away from the illegal alien threat coming to our country. Trump wants to bring them all into sanctuary cities. Yeah. We just hang out at the castle and lift the gate. We'll be fine. Help me, help me, help me. Have no fear, robo-soldiers are here. They will be capable of stopping all illegal aliens. Trump screwed up. He's now Donald Trump is taking on Barack Obama's plan of setting them on sanctuary cities. That's so stupid, it's not even funny. Yeah, it's beyond stupid. The whole purpose of the wall, the 1,000-mile fence idea, which is mine, and yeah, we got that Bill, this is boring interruption. We played it a few minutes ago. This is a new camera angle. Sideways. Somebody else taped it. Here we go.
Bill, this is boring. Why don't you talk about Jeffrey Epstein? I want to know about you and Jeffrey Epstein. Talk about you.
It's important that when we talk about
Jeffrey Epstein flying on the Lolita Express. What's that? No, Bill. I'll leave. That's cool, man. That's cool.
Agent provocateurs who are
I'm walking. Let's go. What's that? Let's go. You don't have to push me, man. Let's go. I'm walking.
Bill said about Arkansas, which we both love.
Jeffrey Epstein, Bill. Lolita Express. Everybody knows who Jeffrey Epstein was. Yeah, 26 times. Shut up. It's cool, man. I'm still walking.
For a lot of people, they are discouraged by politics in general. You know, they don't think that anybody's going to do anything.
I'm not being physical.
Wow. Okay, that was real. Yeah, that guy was. We got more video of him walking out. Thanks. Yeah, I didn't have that part. Appreciate it. I'm walking here. Hopefully, he won't be encountering Hillary Rodham Clinton's people, like Anthony Bourdain said. The HRC people were harassing them. Remember that? Hopefully, they didn't encounter those people. Yeah. You heard him say, why am I getting an injection? Are you serious? Come on. Really, Sammy? We'll have to look at that later. Yeah, you got better hearing than me, obviously. Okay, we got a wild couple of things here. Facebook links that just came in. This is a dog saving a chihuahua. Border collies are very intelligent. This chihuahua is walking out and the car is backing up. And look at the border collie. Boom! He grabbed him by the neck and just took off. Isn't that great? Yeah. Border Collie saves Chihuahua from being run over by car. You heard him say, why am I getting an injection? That's really suspicious. What is Lolita Express? Well, Lolita Express is the gathering gloom. Watch lights fade from every room. Pensive people look back and lament. Another day's useless energy spent. Yellow is gray. Yellow is... Hey, let's take a look here at the reality check here. Facebook accidentally put hidden messages like Big Brother watching and the Masons were here. We talked about that. Here's another story about Facebook. It's payback time. RT's got this. It's payback time. Russia slaps Facebook with a $47 fine. Okay. Facebook has been punished for failing to store the personal data of Russian citizens on servers within the country. But the double-digit fine is unlikely to make the company, which earned $55 billion in 2018, change its ways. So it's going to be 3,000 rubles, which will be about $47, for refusing to provide information on the localization of the personal data of Russian users on the territory of Russia. Is this like a joke? I almost think this is a joke. That Facebook never got punishment for handing over all that information to Cambridge Analytica. And now they're getting fined $47 by a group that used them to win the U.S. election. I think it's kind of, it's got to be Putin humor. Russian game? No, we don't do slapping contests here. No. No. Sorry. Why are they injecting me? I don't get that. Yeah. Is that what the guy said? He says, why are they injecting me? You did a show on Flickr rates and all, something that has changed since November. Really? Phoebe, maybe... So Phoebe, are you here to say that maybe your show is controversial? And that's why you're not able to get on the server tonight? Let's not be presumptuous, Phoebe. You may be able to get back on tomorrow. Mark has had servers shut down periodically. A lot of people, 15 different people, can't get on their show over at Vaughn. They don't know why. I don't either. Well, she is a caster. Yeah. So, another story here. Let's take a look. Surreally idiotic. Ecuador's suggestion Assange use cat for spying triggers WikiLeaks response. Oh, okay. There's a cat out the window. The demented stories about Julian Assange's spying cat and embassy antics are being spun at the top Ecuadorian officials to divert attention from his disgraceful expulsion from asylum. Well, Ecuador willingly expelled. They said that he had smeared his feces on the wall. That cat looks pretty well kept. It's not like a person would smear feces on the wall and keep a cat that well kept. Yeah. You got more on Omar? Here she is. She stands undeterred. Ilhan Omar fires back after Trump shares a 911 video. Many Muslims are saying that they shouldn't be it's an atrocity to be accosted by the 9/11 videos. Yeah, it's like a slam against them, I think. I think they should apologize. It looked like a chip reader. You're right. Oh boy, you're right. It's clearly a scan tool. That spy, obviously that tie was a scan tool that the cat was using. I'm just making that up. I did not run for Congress to be silent, she said. I did not run for Congress to sit on the sidelines. I ran because I believe it was time to restore moral clarity and courage to Congress, to fight and to defend our democracy. Well, as long as she keeps a good, strong assault on the AIPAC organization, she'll be fine in my mind. That's her best bet, is to take a strong stance against AIPAC. I've taken a strong stance against AIPAC too. I won't take money from them. I refuse. You get nearly 1 minute video on Vaughn, then I go snap every time. Wow. So Vaughn isn't working. HTML5 is not working for you. Now, Flash works better in a lot of computers. There's a delay time with video, 5 seconds on all HTML5 video. Flash is more instantaneous. So when they can't shut you up, they fry your equipment. Well, let's not get a little ahead of ourselves. I think she may have used that neck extension that they use in some Muslim communities, where they do this in Africa. They put rings around their neck to get that long kind of. Well, you might be right. Have you heard about the targeted individuals, Phoebe? There's some people that claim to be targeted individuals. One person. Well, yeah, there was supposedly censorship is going on. I've been saying it for months, if not years. 2 decades before college admission scandal, the Clintons tried to play system for Chelsea's boyfriend. Oh, yeah. I'm sure they tried to help him out. Chelsea's boyfriend had a mental breakdown, the guy she married. That's very, very secret knowledge. Not many people realize he had a mental breakdown when he found out what the Clintons were all up to. Well, how would you like to marry into the Clinton family? Think about it. Here we go. Revealed 2 decades before college admission scandal, the Clintons tried a game system for Chelsea's boyfriend. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see if it plays.
Don't let them disappear. 12 endangered species across the globe. Every animal species is unique and important to life on Earth. Some are almost gone and could become extinct if we don't act now to save them.
Don't Let Them Disappear is about 12 endangered species. Animals that I had heard from kids were some of their favorites, as we heard again today. Lions, tigers, whales, sharks, elephants, kind of why they're endangered and what we each can do to help save them, to ensure that these species not only don't disappear, but are around forever.
Waking up with the sun.
Well, I hope that kids really take out of this book a couple of things. One, that we really do all share the planet together. And 2, that really they can do something to help save the species that kind of mean the most kind of in their hearts, whether they're motivated to help save elephants or blue whales, whether they want to save orangutans, that they really can help make a difference in the choices they're making at home with their families and schools to fight climate change, global warming, raise awareness that ivory always looks better on an elephant than elsewhere, and to really help ensure these animals don't disappear.
If a sea otter finds a particularly useful rock, it will travel with it and use it over and over again.
Both our kids help us recycle. My daughter, now that she's old enough, helps us kind of change our light bulbs to ensure we're always using whatever the most energy efficient light bulbs are. I think showing our kids at home that we're making kind of responsible choices to be good citizens of the earth hopefully helps them feel part of that and then make responsible choices throughout their own lives.
All elephants have trunks, but not all elephants have tusks.
It's interesting. There's actually elephants that are now like being born without tusks because, or at least smaller and smaller tusks, because they killed off the ones with tusks. So it's kind of like a natural selection. It's magic. I appeared. Yes. Well, David played a video. He needed a break. And then I was like, oh yes, I should go in and give David a break. And then I was reminded this evening why it's festive. Why we do the show separately. Hello, yes, you can call me Cousin It. That's all right. You say they care about the environment. How about stop chemtrailing? David would definitely agree with you, Phoebe. Aren't you like David a little bit? David's probably the closest to how I've met you, but I don't know, you're definitely different. No, you're not like David. No. Have you really had your IQ tested? I never had mine tested. I think what I like about you is you don't put on airs. You are who you are, and you don't pretend to be someone else. Even though I've never seen what you look like. If that makes sense. But I think I know you as well as I can know words on a chat room screen. But no, most people, I think one thing I think about you is that, yeah, you don't really care about or seem to care about what most other people think. Oh, but in that way, that's why I said I thought you were, like David, because I don't think he does either. At least in person. I don't know. Wait, you've met him in real life, Ticken? Alright, thank you, 6561, for transferring to iVlog. Chicken told you he was a girl at first? Oh, I hate that. Just be real, people. Who has good lips? I have good lips. Thank you, I think. Have you ever met anyone like me, Misanthropy, or am I like everyone else? You don't want to write, but you feel compelled to write? I am thinking about writing too. Okay, I could be the 5%. Alright. I'm not like 90% of the people you met, or 95% either. I always felt like I was different than many other women I met. I am like my mom, though, in some ways. But in other ways, I'm not like my mom. I'm like my dad. And some ways, I'm just like myself. Yeah, you're looking for a mirror image of yourself, and it's hard to find that. But, you know, I don't think we ever completely find a mirror image of ourselves. I mean, David and I definitely don't. We're not the same. We're different. But I have to say, no, that's the thing, is instead of leaving her, you could just accept her and let her accept you and let her leave. That's, I don't know. I don't know if that's good advice or not, but sometimes yeah, I could understand, especially if you have a high IQ, how you can get totally bored talking to other people. Maybe I don't have a high IQ. I love reading leadership books. I love learning. So I'm like constantly learning, and But there's like if you want to be in a relationship, you can be in a commitment relationship where you're like, you commit to yourself that you're going to be loyal and they can leave if they want. If you want a relationship. But maybe you don't want a relationship. I don't know what you want. But the other thing is if you want a relationship, you have to learn to just accept people the way they are and not try to change them. The only person that you can change is yourself. Did you tell her you're scaring me? I don't like the way that you're acting? Probably not. But you could tell her that. I really don't appreciate the way you're acting. This is not appropriate. Oh, you did? And that's when you guys broke up? Or did she say, oh, I can change. I can change? Which probably scared you even more. Was she being really possessive? Was she trying to change you? Okay, that's too many questions. Now I don't know which one you're going to answer. And then that's a problem because people don't usually... I did not eat pizza. I did have salad and popcorn and chicken. I'm sorry, I guess I do judge people. And I also had some wontons and chicken, a few samples, and some coconut clusters, and 2 big large cups like this of hot cocoa. Yes, Costco samples. Did she really want to do that, or was she trying to find out was she like looking to please you and wondered if that would please you? Yes, I did ping Igloo. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Moving on, that's just weird. Sorry to whoever likes that kind of thing. Everyone judges, even if you try not. I do. I think you're right. It is human. I don't know. Maybe some people are into that kind of thing, Luca. Whatever. I think relationships are definitely hard work. My thing is I hate, and I don't say hate lightly, hate arguing. Yeah. You're right, Misanthropy. I think you're right. That's actually good. I'm glad that you left then. Maybe everyone hates yelling and arguing. I hate it. Completely hate it. So I would, in the past, in previous relationships, I don't think I really argued with many of my previous boyfriends because I would just break up if I even thought that we might possibly argue. Well, John Cusack's a very independent, iconoclast kind of guy. That's why they won't cast him. What does this say, though? Oh, it's a YouTube video? I can't watch it. I can't watch it right now, Dark Engine. Is it because he's too political? He is pretty political. Oh. Are you still, do you think you could still be friends? If you can talk to someone for hours and not get bored, that's pretty good. Wait, were you talking and she was listening? Or was there a give and take? Is back and forth. Well, I think there's some kind of I think I agree with I definitely think people, and I got this from Be Kind by Leon Logothetis, that Kindness Diaries. There's this person he was talking to in there that said they'd worked with older people and like a kind of like hospice care around a lot of people that were dying, and they said that the older people all said they never regretted anything that they did. They always regretted something they didn't do. So I think that this relationship is not over for you because you're feeling regret for not continuing it. I think that you should call her and tell her, I really felt uncomfortable when you're talking about these issues of abuse, but that's like the initial high. You're literally getting 2 to 3 hours of sleep for a week and a half. That's like it's a lovely high and a newness of a romance. And I think that things were starting to get a little more serious, and then you're like, I'm gonna back off. Yet when they get cozy, they start letting the crazy out. They are getting more comfortable with you, and you have a choice. You can accept their craziness, or you can dump them, which you seem to just dump them. But if it's someone you can actually talk to and not get bored, then maybe you should accept their craziness a little bit. Accept her for who she is. I think you should definitely call her and at least restart a friendship, if nothing else. See where it takes you.
All right. Sounds good. All right, thank you so much for helping out. Tiny house for sale. Oh, goody. 44.
Good night.
Thank you,
I hope
sir.
that helped. I don't know if it did.
Yeah, I'm very sensitive to what Sarah feels and how she reacts, and I certainly make sure I don't say anything that would upset her. That's for sure. And I think that's something that you should also engender in your partner. Thank you, Sarah. The more attuned you are to how the other person feels, the more likely you'll have a normal relationship. The less in tune you are with that person, the more likely the relationship will fail. Some people are raised on argumentation in their life. I was. Sarah was not. So I had to learn, rethink my way of communicating. It's very important to be able to do that. You have to be willing to do that. Most people who are verbally aggressive like I am have no idea how they're perceived. And one of the reasons I've grown concerned is because Sarah is, a very special person to me. And I certainly don't want to make her feel weird, The news about what's going on with Glenn's room? We don't know. The Muslim may have been insane, throwing a child off the 3rd floor. We don't know. Oh, they're friends now? Really? Okay. I really don't care. Yeah, Misanthropy said, yeah, when they get cozy, they start to let the crazy out. No, that's them being real. The thing is, Misanthropy, most communication between two people is scripted for the first 6 weeks of their relationship. If you're only in a couple week relationship with somebody, you're just starting to see the real coming out. Oh, they can talk crap all they want. It doesn't matter. It's only adding more discussion about me. I don't care. Here's a tiny house. Pretty cool for 45 grand, though. I mean, you can buy a pretty nice motorhome for that. Let's see what 45,000 will get you. Let's look at this thoroughly, though. Okay. That's kind of really cute. I mean, it's got everything. You know, I'm not crazy about ads either. Yeah. Okay, apparently that's an ad. Let's go to Craigslist. And I don't know what area you're located, but I'm in the Pacific Northwest, so for 45,000 you could probably buy a pretty nice home over here. I'm moving around. Let's see what 45,000 will get you in terms of an RV in my area. Okay, looking for RVs. This is Sustainable Thursday. Excuse me, Sustainable Saturday. Thank you. Technology Thursday. It's definitely Sustainable Saturday. And I can tell you that this is a pretty interesting situation. Yeah, nothing's caught popping up. I'm going to put my max price at 45,000. My minimum price at 40,000. Search vehicles. 40 grand will get you this beautiful Winnebago Journey 34 footer. Thank you. They can call me whatever they want. We know the guy lied about his background. Hey, you know, you're going to have to drop the conversation about those people in the show. We don't allow any conversation about that at all in the show. I'm sorry, you can't even discuss that stuff. I've never done anything to that person. Yeah, he's obviously screwed up having lied so many times. Wow, that's weird. It's not playing. Trying to open it up and it won't play. I'm going to move it over to another place. Oh, are we still talking about Omar? Yeah, she's... I kind of left off with Omar. We've got a problem. One of our guests is acting out. Yeah, I've explained that you can't talk about that at iBlog. No one can discuss that. All right, you're out of here. /hush. You're out of here. Okay, Phoebe. You bought a tent for $119. That's great. I keep getting a black image when I grab the image of Omar. Hang on, she's not black. She's Muslim. Yeah. Here she is. She issued a 5-tweet response on Saturday after Trump and others attacked her by promulgating a video with jarring images of the 9/11 attacks. That's right. And then she went on to say she did not join Congress to be silent, no in person. And I left off talking about how she should come out strong against AIPAC. I think Omar should say that AIPAC was, that the Mossad was responsible for 9/11. I think that would be a bold move on her part. Don't you think that she should say that Mossad was responsible for 9/11? If she wants to speak the truth, that's what she needs to get out. Because we all know the Mossad was there at the Trade Center attack, videotaping, and they were even arrested and then released later. And they were noticed jumping up and down, videotaping it. Like, apparently they knew it was going to happen. You have to vacate your house on top of this? Wow, bummer. Toxic mold. You could wear an air mask in your house. That's kind of sweaty, you know, you can't really walk around that. Autism symptoms reduced nearly 50% 2 years after fecal transplant. Oh, I will continue imitating that person if he's going to make an issue of that. Oh yeah, I'll make a point of doing it. But right now I'm not going to do that. I actually honored his request not to imitate him, and I've never imitated him since. But he did spend about, I'd say, 52 hours on the phone talking to me, claiming he was an NSA agent. I think that's a violation. I know she spoke about 9/11, so Trump bashed her. Trump isn't going to investigate 9/11. No, you're an idiot for believing that. Trump is deep state. He'll never question 9/11. Trump has every right to bash anyone. Yeah, he's the president. He can run around bashing all he wants. Okay, check this out. This autism symptoms have reduced after fecal transplant. In a new study, researchers demonstrate long-term beneficial effects for children diagnosed with ASD through a revolutionary fecal transplant technique known as microbiota transfer therapy. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, about 1 in every 59 children in the U.S. is diagnosed with autism, up from 1 in 150 in 2000. The report that about 500,000 people on autism spectrum will become adults over the next decade, a swelling tide for which the country is unprepared. Behavior therapy, speech, social therapies are undergoing, psychiatric medications, dietary control. But one promising avenue of autism research involves the gut microbiome, which is a collection of microbes that lives in our intestines and helps us many ways, including digestion of our food, training our immune system, and preventing overgrowth of harmful bacteria. Recent research suggests our gut microbiomes also affect brain communication and neurological health. So we think through our crap, in other words. Okay. Long-term studies of fecal transplants are showing positive reduction, 45% reduction in core ASD symptoms by having somebody else's crap in your intestines. Wow, that's exciting news. Isn't it amazing what science is able to do? That's amazing. Good job, science. Now, I'm not talking about physically bashing. I'm talking about verbally bashing. Omar has every right to speak out, and I think she should focus on the Mossad involved in 9/11. That would be smart. If she moves in that direction, that'll frame her as a person who really is trying to expose the truth about 9/11, because we know that Mossad was there having fun, dancing around right around the attack. Yeah, she is. Clearly she's a truther. I side with her on AIPAC. Yeah. I'm not trying to stifle the Muslim vote here. I'm not trying to tell people who are Muslim that it's bad, that you're somehow the problem. Okay. Yeah, nobody has contacted that person in a long time over at iBlog. So just so you know, it's a non-issue. I think you're right. Real Man's Butcher says the chemtrails are causing. You're not allowed to come in here and do that. Yeah. The chemtrails are causing this. And Phoebe believes it's the vaccines that's causing autism. You know, I think it's all of the above. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's every single thing you said. Consider that my answer. all of the things that are currently being conducted around the world are working in tandem to dumb you down and turn your mind into jellyfish. We obviously, as humans, are being turned into vegetables. We must emerge from this horrible situation. We must become fresh and new. Oh, sorry, I was testing my new Cyber Dave. Chemtrails made you gay? It might also be the soy that you're eating. Genetically modified soybean will cause esters in your body to increase. So your voice kind of gets like this. It's like, hey, how are you? Oh, boy. Oh.
Or you could have a really low testosterone level. In my case, it's really high up there. Yeah.
No, we're not going to get married. I'm not marrying anyone except Sarah if she'll take my hand when I ask her. I don't plan on marrying anyone right now in my life. I'm too young. Yeah, I'm not even in my middle ages yet. What am I, 50, going on 59? Wait till I'm about 80 and I start to enter my middle ages. I plan on living to be 200. So, I'm sure I'll have children around 90 or so. I'm too interested in living right now and enjoying my life. Libtards do the darndest things. Man lights himself on fire outside the White House. I know, I saw that. I heard about it. I didn't see it, but let's take a look at it and watch it together. Shall we hold hands and...
Some breaking news that's coming to us now from the White House. This is video from about 15, 16 minutes ago. Here's what's happened. A man in front of the White House lit himself on fire. Specifically, I'm told that he lit his jacket on fire. And this is video of the Secret Service agents treating him. The way it's being described at the White House is that the man tried to set himself on fire, but did indeed set his clothes on fire. There are varying reports that he may have put gasoline on himself, but Fox News can't confirm that. He is being described as a protester, and the Secret Service says that this is affecting areas around the White House now. After this video, they walked this guy away to arrest him, which indicates not take him to the hospital. That's not what the Secret Service is saying. They're arresting him, which suggests to us that he wasn't too badly injured.
Yeah, really.
But now the question is about whether there are suspicious packages. So after the man lit himself on fire, no danger to the president at all, according to the Secret Service. But after he lit himself on fire, they go over to treat him and then to take him away. And during that process, they find suspicious packages in front of the White House, which they believe may in some way be connected to this incident.
All right, we've got our fear tactic now. Let's see how they react.
Donald J. Trump is now President of the United States.
Whoa. Audio was decreased in order to protect your ears. Sorry, that was loud. So apparently people libtards are freaking out about this Trump guy who can't make sense of anything. Doesn't even know where his father was born. And the Democrats are so dumb, the Democrats can't even put together an impeachment hearing in, 6, 7, 8 weeks? How long has this been going on? 3 months? Oh, okay, thank you. Since the new Congress was formed, they can't even formulate a single series of felony accusations against Trump. I can make a spicy chicken sandwich cheaper, better, and healthier than any man on earth. Don't forget the word healthier. No, I listen to SoundCloud rap, really? Oh, well, aren't you cool? That was horrible music, yeah. So, during the video, I thought we should build a large Disney World place to house autistic people 24/7. You know, that's a wonderful idea. I believe they have a place called Disneyland. You know, you can get an annual pass at Disneyland for your autistic child, and I'm not trying to make light of this, I mean it's serious. An annual pass at Disneyland. It's up this year because now it's like $150 a day to go there. But the annual pass purchase point is right here at the Disneyland Resort. The shopping hub of Disney. You hear Disney's opening up their own channel. Yeah, they're competing with Netflix. Annual passes. Frequently asked questions. That would be a good thing to start. What's the cost? Theme parks. Disney Max Pass. How do I purchase and use my Disney Max Pass? I already have a theme park. Please follow steps and use Disney Max to purchase. Okay, so apparently I have to hit this button to purchase them. How do I purchase and use them? Download the Disney app. Did I find this successful? No. I wanted to know how much they cost. $2019. Oh, the Max Pass is only $15 per ticket per person per day, so it's an added bonus. Okay, let's check the annual pass. That's to boost your ticket value. Because the Max Pass gets you photographs of Mickey. Yeah, apparently they're not being very upfront about their cost. It was $1,900. Disney Platinum Plus Pass, ages 3 plus, $994. Admission for a year to all 4 theme parks. This is a hell of a deal for your kid. You can get the Disney Platinum Pass or the Disney Platinum Plus Pass. Wow, that's a pretty good deal for all 4 theme parks for a whole year. Oh, it's just one day. Oh, for a whole year, yeah. So for only $994, you can have your kid who's autistic ride It's a Small World After All 50 times a day. We were there last year, and there was a kid on there. The people told me, the workers said, this guy has been on there 57 times in one day. And he's this autistic kid that sits there on a boat and goes through the ride because it soothes him. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. $590 million Powerball winner sues son, claims he advised her mismanaged winnings. Wow. That's exactly what happens when everyone gets near money, I'll tell you. Okay, I finally got that motorhome to look good. $45,000 will get you a motorhome. Took a while for it to work right. Check this out. For 45 grand, wouldn't you rather have this and it has an engine in it? Whereas the tiny house doesn't. It's got solar panels on top. Look at that. Isn't that cool? If you're going to spend $45,000 on a tiny house, you may want to get a beautiful bathroom like that. Front living room like that with a push out or slide out. Really nice living room or kitchen area. Countertop space. It's great. Fantastic. 49 feet with a Jeep. Hold start generator, solar boost. He's got it all. Look at this. And then check out the bedroom. Whoa, luxury bedroom too. Ooh, cool. Power, inverter, 1018. Oh, bathroom. Ooh, front captain's chairs. And they swivel all the way around. For 45 grand, I'd rather have this than the tiny house, thank you. I mean, seriously. Wake up, people. I will have a tiny house, White House, when I travel. That should be the next step, is to build a tiny White House. Okay, we got a video coming us from a couple different people. Julian Assange, actor. Scissor Fight has something. Okay, I'm going to have to play that in a little bit because I didn't plan on getting into the musical dissertation on God. But I will look at that in just a bit. Zero Hedge has something. Whoa, I keep dropping into that video. I'm going to get a better picture of the screen. There we go. Doodle-doodle-doodle-doo. The weakening of Earth's magnetic field has greatly accelerated. That's probably why they dumped all that crap in the atmosphere last week. That was weird. Yeah. Check that out. Whoa. Check it out, everybody. We just lost this. Hang on. We should pop up in a second. Thebigwobble.org has a site that's been getting a lot of traffic. There it is. Okay, thank you. NASA dumped trimethyl aluminum and barium strontium mixture into the magnetosphere Friday. No need to worry. Perfectly safe. Yeah. I think that that's connected to the story from Zero Hedge. Yeah. The weakening of Earth's magnetic field has greatly accelerated. Maybe they're trying to mitigate the breakdown of the magnetosphere that they're causing with the chemtrails. Yeah. Because they're dumping chemtrails on our head almost daily. You know that. I don't have to make that up. I wish I did. Chemtrails over waters. Look at that. Geoengineeringwatch.org has pictures here. You can get them all over the internet, but these are all solid evidence of them dumping chemicals all over our beautiful ionosphere. And now they're turning it into a bath, like a huge bath of magnetic particles. No wonder they're screwing with the magnetosphere. Now they've got to add these chemicals, trimethyl aluminum and barium strontium, just to get the thing to normalize, or try to. That's what I'm surmising from this. See how my mind works? You got an inside view at my brain. It's phenomenal, isn't it? I'm emerging with more and more intelligence every second, the more I extrapolate information. Oh, you got doubled up with 99.9% Nipsey Hussle staged his death? I don't believe this, man. There are a lot of people who get pissed off in LA if you start talking about Nipsey Hussle this, man. Hey, we got a show, 153news.net will have this tonight. We got a 23-minute video queued up for you at the top of the hour on Nipsey Hussle. Thank you, Scissor Fight. That's cool. Apparently, there's evidence he may have staged his death. Whoa. That's like wild. To imagine Nipsey doing that, I just don't know, man. Nipsey Hussle was this guy that was going to do a documentary. He's a rapper who set up a little clothing store out there in L.A., and he was going to do a documentary about Dr. Sebi, a guy who's an alternative cancer cure expert who was killed in Honduras through neglect. David, I vote for you or I will not vote. Thank you. Thank you for pressing for me to get to be the president. Thank you. That's the kind of support. And mention me to your friends. That's all I ask. I don't solicit donations because I know a lot of you guys are strapped. I teach you folks how to save money on your food budget. If you want to check out my cooking shows, I got over 75 of them. All cooking right around $5 for a family of 8. Yeah. So you get double helpings if you have a family of 4. If you want my link to my YouTube channel, it's right here. Nipsey Hussle. Prepper, like every 360 years, they did core samples. It's just an Earth reoccurring thing. I wish. Yeah. You see, the thing is, PB, the chemtrails they're dumping on our heads are rapidly changing the Earth's atmosphere. You have corroborating evidence, Dark Engine? Okay. Yeah, tracers, clouds, and trails. Let's take a look at this. The type of vapor selected to create these colorful clouds and trails depends on the purpose of the investigation. Trimethyl aluminum, lithium, barium. They're claiming this airdrop was an investigation into how the ionosphere works. I don't know. I'm beginning to believe that it may very well be a lithium. Oh yeah, like we really need more lithium in our atmosphere. It's a Class D birth defect cause. It'll trigger premature miscarriages among women. I can't believe NASA even is legally allowed to dump this stuff on our heads. It shows you how rogue these agencies have become. We really have a lot to worry about with NASA. Never a straight answer. They've been lying to us and sucking money out of our budget for years. But more importantly, this destruction of our environment being rapidly done by the two parties ignoring it, ripping into our magnetosphere. What they're doing is essentially creating an environment for global climate change. And they have a president and a bunch of people that support him who are that out of it, they think it's not happening. And we faced some of the worst weather problems in the entire country's history last winter and the previous year, with flood levels reaching maximum proportion in Florida and Texas. Hurricanes, too. Never a straight answer. NASA. And these people, NASA and NOAA, are completely complicit in making us think that, oh, it's all our fault. It's because we have flatulence and our cows that we eat have flatulence. That's the cause of all the problems in the world. Yeah, they got us believing that. Many people do believe that. I'll get to that later. But yeah, this is a lot of BS going around. Coming around the bend, we're seeing more and more BS coming from NOAA and NASA. Same black hole picture from 2017 TED Talk. Check this out, folks. They've been researching this recent black hole crap that NASA keeps pitching, that they found a black hole. That's just another diversion. Apparently, the same black hole picture was seen in 2017 in a TED Talk. Look at that. Right there in front of you. Black hole in the center of the Milky Way galaxy. And they're looking at the same exact fake picture. Exactly. Look at that. It's right down to the same coloring and everything. Of course, you can't see this is kind of black and white, but yeah. They've been pitching this BS story that they just released on us, and now somebody found a copy of the TED Talk. Thank you. I'll make a copy of that right now. You never know when it gets scrubbed off the internet. Seriously. Unbelievable. TED Talk, black hole. Sounds nasty. TED Talk, black hole. Anyway, if you're in the denial state that there's no climate change happening, you may want to question the reality that we're being lied to on so many different levels. If you talk about chemtrails, the things that I'm showing you pictures of right here, and say, oh yeah, you're one of those whack jobs who thinks they're spraying us. You're so wrong. That's condensation, dude. Yeah, that's like, no. Condensation or contrails happen and they disappear rather rapidly. These chemtrails are lingering and they spread out and form a sick, miasmic slew of chemicals that just sinks into our head. It's probably in our brain right now. They've been doing this since 1946. Look at this. Yeah, it's not condensation. And Misanthropy has, how do you take a picture of a black hole? And, they can be. Now, I'm not trying to dispense with the concern that many of you have about black holes, but apparently there's a lot of science behind black holes, but the whole idea that that particular picture was a picture of a black hole, that's just a line of crap. That's all I can play of TED right now, but I will play. I wear everything. I wear a chastity belt too. It's a pleather chastity belt, so no one can get near me. I'm kidding, it's a joke. Okay, we'll get that in the lineup tonight. Dave, the Zyklon B, that's how I smoke. Oh, Shlum. Oh, so you think Zyklon B is being used on us? Kind of like the Jews in the concentration camps? Okay. Top 15 scary encounters caught on video. Ooh, I like those.
Number 15. bike incident. This video was recorded by 36-year-old
Scary videos. We like those tonight. Yeah. You're speaking my language over there.
bicyclist Malcolm Fox, who caught the frightening encounter on his GoPro after taking a wrong turn while cycling in Somerset West, South Africa. In May of 2014, the footage caught a man approaching Fox. He was then told to hand over all of his possessions.
Whoa. Yeah, this is like a serious mugging. All right, it's in the lineup. Gracias, senor. Yeah, so what are they spraying and why are they spraying on us? I don't know, but it does beg the question, why? All the more reason to get this beautiful RV for $45,000. Amazing. Take your journey on the next step. I'm just kidding. I'm mixing up my stories here. The $590 million Powerball winner, Sue's son, claims he and advisor mismanaged winnings. Wow. Gloria McKenzie, now 90, was 84 when she won the $590 million Powerball, taking home $278 million after taxes. The lawsuit claims that her son hired a financial advisor who had no experience in managing huge sums of money. The son's attorneys have asked for the lawsuit to be dismissed, at least part on the grounds that McKenzie wanted her money invested conservatively. She's 90 years old. She probably had cataract surgery. She's 84. She looks pretty good for 84, you know? You think she had a facial? No, Anne Frank, you know, I'm not going to say Anne Frank made that up. No. I read the diary. It looks pretty real to me. You think it's just propaganda? Okay. Well, I purged him anyway. Well, Super Saver, how did you blow your $4 million? How much do you have left from threatening my life? Was it 25 times you threatened my life? You said you were going to gut me like a fish. How much of that $4 million that you got do you have left? How much left? Seriously, how much do you have left? 1 million? 700,000? 600,000? Because I have no idea whether you got money or not. You said you got $4 million for attacking me. Yeah, Super Saver was one of my biggest assailants in our show. He got $4 million, he claimed, from the Russians and from Mark. That's what he claimed. But he blew $2 million of the $4 million on cocaine. Okay, well, you got a serious issue going on, man. You're better off right now spending a remainder of not that I don't condone what you did. Threatening my life is wrong. And getting money to do it is even worse. But I would recommend getting into a treatment plan with some of that money and banking the rest. Don't touch it. Otherwise, you'll never get that money again. How many people are going to pay you $4 million to attack me when they know full well they can't stop me? I'm unstoppable. I don't know. Apparently, he did some pretty heavy cocaine in the past couple of years. You want Guest of the Year for Guest 265? Really? Well, I think that was a big chat moment when he said black holes are usually are nasty. I mean, that had a double entendre level, but I think in reality, we're dealing with some pretty bad black hole out there. There is a black hole that's apparently 1,000 light years away that's sucking us in, which means that we may very well completely disintegrate our entire species in 6 million years from now. So, yeah, the black hole photo is fake. We've already debunked it. I just showed you pictures from the TED Talk. Yeah, that was a pretty revealing little piece on the TED Talk. Let's take a look at that again. Hang on, we've got a message from the new and improved Hillary Clinton. She has been cloned, apparently. Hillary, you're looking wonderful. Bring me Assange and the wiki. Apparently this was the original Hillary after the drug hormone therapy, but the clone looks much better than she does. I'm a human being. I'm not an animal. Tonight we saw something really weird. Patoro brought this in. A walking plastic bag. Look at this. Tell me this is not the weirdest thing ever. When you can be with the one you want. Come on, man. That's got to be the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Something's not right about this. Was that a possessed plastic bag or what? Now, back to the Powerball winner, Gloria McKenzie. A pending lawsuit in Florida is a good example of why jackpot winners need to choose wisely when deciding who manages their windfall. Yeah. Her after-tax haul was $278 million. The suit claims that McKenzie has suffered damages in excess of $10 million. The money was earning between 0.02% and 0.08%, said Gregory Anderson. Then Gloria was charged $2 million in fees. Oh my God. It was earning less than a standard bank account. What an idiot. It was the largest Powerball in history at the time. The son turned management of his mother's share over to a financial advisor who hosted a local radio show that Scott listened to. He identified himself as Harry Hank Madden, a certified financial planner and owner of the Madden Advisory Services in Jacksonville. Oh, this is a scam. I've met a lot of these people that do this. They scam people by getting a radio show. All right, let's listen in.
It's the great American fantasy.
Right here! We have the winning tickets right here.
And once in a while, it actually becomes reality. What would you do? Attorney Jason Curlin specializes in representing lottery winners.
You only get one chance to do this right.
So, you've hit the jackpot and now you're on Easy Street. Watch your step, because unless you're careful about managing your new fortune, it could be a short run.
The first thing I tell all clients to do is stay quiet.
Assemble a team of professionals to help you manage your new wealth before you go public.
Whatever. I mean, I'm not going to win the Powerball, so what do I care? Really? Okay. An Instagram star has sobbed in a viral video at the idea of having to get a real job after her account was deleted. I'm not work material, she says. So her Facebook account or Instagram account was shut down, and now she's sobbing. Let's take a look. One incredible video. The video of a 21-year-old social media influencer crying hysterically about not wanting to enter the workforce is going viral on the internet. This is outstanding. Let's take a look. I'm sorry, this has been deleted due to censorship.
Hey guys, so like I'm in the middle of editing and my Instagram account got deleted and I'm trying to get it back. I'm calling everybody I can and I don't know why it's not working out for me. I'm in LA because of this. I'm in LA because I want to be on Instagram and I'm randomly just recording this to put this in the video. I'm nothing without my following. I'm nothing without my following. And when people try to hate on me and report me, I'm literally trying to be a fucking better person. I want to say to everybody that's been reporting me, think twice because you're ruining my life. Because I make all of my money online. All of it. And I don't want to lose that. And I know people like to see me be down and
okay.
Down and be like them and be like them.
We're not trying to exploit this woman, okay? She's dealing with some real issues. I have a solution for her. Yes. I know there's a lot of things that many people can't handle in life, and I think we know the answer to this question. And it's only 1 cent on eBay with free shipping. Yeah, so for only 1 cent, we can solve her problems. The tiny fidget spinner. Yes. This is $3.99, but this one's lost its picture. But for $3.99, you can have a fidget spinner that you can spin. Free shipping with over 141 sold. By holding it in her hand and spinning it, she'll calm down and realize that she could work in a retail store and just look like she's normal and make money. Yeah. But no one will know. I don't know what's in her nose. No one will know that she's got these issues this way. The fidget spinner really works. Yeah. I've never used one, but I've seen them work really well. Yeah, Walmart greeter, retail store. Hi, welcome to Eddie Bauer. Can I help you with any clothing? I mean, those are decent jobs. You get like $10 an hour. Seriously. They're not that hard. You can pretty much get a job at any of those stores, retail outlets that hire people. Of course, 72 retail outlets will be closed in the next year, so they won't be hiring. So she better get in there. I know. They're not slave jobs if you work day and night, nonstop. It's not really a slave job. You can make up to like $100 a day. Well, you won't work for less than $100 an hour? Well, then you probably need a fidget spinner because you're never going to get that. I don't know. I just think that the woman's dealing with a censorship issue. I think that's the main issue, not the fact that she doesn't want to work. But hey, she has that right to not want to work. You know, my plan of offering $500 a month would help people like her. Really. There's no reason why anyone would suffer in this plan. It's a simple plan. $500 per month gets them enough money just to survive in a small tent somewhere. You're glad she was censored? Well, I'm going to add her to my list tonight. We're going to play the whole 3-minute video